Hello, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, I see a gang in the chat right now. I saw Discord blowing up with songs as soon as we started, so that warmed my heart. And you know what else warms my heart? That we got a fucking Girth Gang veteran waiting to come out from back there. He's in the green room. You know, he's fucking killing it. He's been doing his thing. I kind of gave him a debriefing before I went on. I usually do this. I say, hey, yo, I just do this. I go out alone, solo. I give the people an intro and bring the guest out. And he goes, yeah, I know. I've been doing this for a year. So we got a fucking vet on our hands, everybody. We got a new collab out. He's here to talk about all that. Get your tunes in Discord, because he's a badman. We want to hear your shit too. But first, let me bring him out. Let's get him out here. Everybody welcome Mr. 5-Star.
Yo.
Oh, shit.
Oh
Shit. Wasn't supposed to be the khaki. See, you know what? I'm a little rusty. Maybe you are better hosting this right now too. Like you said, you've been doing this for a year.
Whole year, my dude.
I had one job. Change the overlays, and you know I fucked up already. I brought you out in the khakis instead of wheeled you out.
Yeah, you brought me out like D's, man.
Oh shit, man. So how you doing, bro? How's everything with the 5-Star project and you know, in the ecosphere?
Dude, life's been good. Ethereum's been doing well. Music's been doing well. I'm really excited about our release this past week, dude. Lots of feedback, lots of people I've connected with from Electric Hawk. It's been pretty awesome in general. They were great to work with, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, the real goal now is just get to 1,000 followers on SoundCloud and keep on keeping on, you know?
Hey.
Try to get some shows locked in for the end of the year.
No, hell yeah, man. That's a pretty good goal too, and I don't know if it's different from what your vision was last year, but you know, I think have made a couple of new waves since then, you know, and we've had 0 shows to play and a very few releases, but you know, I think you've kept busy and made your name kind of ring in people's ears a little bit too. So you got a different way to approach it this year, or you going about it the same way?
I think this year I need to be more focused on, like, you know, just putting out more music. The end of last year, or the beginning of last year, I went really, really hard on putting out music. I mean, I put out music probably every 3 or 4 weeks. I was dropping a song, but it was kind of just like a self-release thing. And then like halfway through the year, I just stopped as I started getting tied up with like label releases and being on their schedule and everything like that. So I think this year the goal would be like put out an EP and try to put that out on a label that I'm proud of and get out some self-releases and maybe some remixes, you know.
Yeah.
Try to put out probably 8 or 10 songs by the end of the year. And shit, I think that's a good goal to chase, you know.
Definitely. We're already like 5 months into it too. So I mean, if I don't know how many you've got out, including our collab, maybe like 2 or 3 already. I know there was the 250 followers one, and then ours.
Honestly, that one was kind of like a little mini freebie that I'd been sitting on, but like that was the only one I've put out this year, I think.
Oh, really?
Ours so far.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. All right.
I was kind of slow with it getting started for this year.
So are you sitting on a bunch of new shit then? Or are you just like waiting to push it all out through the pipeline or what?
I've got a couple. I'm sitting on a couple. I've probably got 4 or 5 that are either done or like 95% there.
Oh shit. Okay. All right. So you're halfway there then. You know, if like things all come together.
Yeah, I'm just waiting on the right time. I was honestly kind of waiting on ours to come out because I was gonna try to help like build some momentum off of it. You know, It's like a bunch of new people heard me for the first time, a bunch of new followers. Try to ride that wave, put out some more music after.
Definitely. No, I mean, that's kind of what I'm waiting on too. So it was nice to get like a new platform to put something out on. And even they gave us an opportunity to kind of take over the Instagram today and, you know, do little things like that. And tomorrow, I think we're going to stem the song out and push it out through the beat off and maybe have a round or 2 for a remix competition. So, I mean, anyone who's in here who's a frequent beat offer, I see Stupefied in here, Coney Hawk, you know, all these VIPs too, man. So it'd be an honor to have y'all flip the tune but we're gonna be giving away the stems tomorrow to kind of reignite some passion towards the tune a little bit too. Maybe we get our own VIPs, get some own remixes, and yeah, who knows where that could end up, because we didn't really plan for Electric Hawk to be the home either, but then they sat kind of with the beat and greet episode, and then after I'm like, you know what, maybe we should put ours in there, maybe we should submit it over there. So I don't want to make any promises, but you never know, man. Maybe we could get our own remix EP to throw towards Electric Hawk's inbox or something.
Yeah, that'd be dope. I would love that, dude.
Yeah,
I want to see y'all tomorrow.
No,
Maybe we
for
could I'm usually really bad at the beat offs, I'm not gonna lie. I rage quit too. I don't know. I crack under pressure. That's what it is.
So
Like,
what's the creative process like then? You do it a lot, like you do more than 30 minutes for most of your tunes, or the ideas take a lot longer than that?
dude, honestly, it's a lot of like kind of beating my head against the wall until something comes out.
I feel
Like,
that.
I'm one of the people who like it really does take a while to get something going. But once I get it going, it's just like it just all comes out at once. So it's like in writing a song, the first 5 or 6 hours is usually almost nothing happening. And then once I get like that one like drum loop or the melodic or that bass, the song just like finishes itself in like 2 hours.
Ooh.
But usually I like to start with like percussion, like growing up as a drummer, kick and snare and 808, honestly. I
Oh,
start with that
shit.
every single
Okay.
time. And then try to get like some cool percussion things growing off of that. And then usually like for me, I kind of just like feel the groove, or I feel like a bass line come in like in my head, and I start running off of that.
So it's pretty like stick to the usual routine kind of thing is where you find the beats come out. Is like, or do you like to kind of veer off that beaten path sometimes and start with other things, or is it like, is that why the beat off has kind of been a challenge? Maybe is because it's not your usual productive like flow.
Yeah, I think so, because usually before I start producing, I'll like go through a bunch of samples and maybe pick out a bunch of them that are in the same key that I think
Oh,
might go together. Like I do a lot of like pre-production, like sound selection stuff, trying to improve my sound selection and everything in my arrangements. I feel like that's like the first half of the battle, trying
yeah.
to get like find the good sounds. And then I try to get all those together in like one folder, and then I'll work from that one folder and kind of like make it happen out of those sounds. But I don't know. I think it's a little bit different when someone else picks the sounds. You know what I mean?
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like it is a little hard for me. Um, but every once in a while, it just hits me. Like I'm just like, oh, I know what to do with this. And some nights I'm on, some nights I'm off. I don't know.
Is
I
it?
honestly think I just need more practice with it.
Nah, me too. I think so too. Like you said, you throw a lot of stuff at the wall until it sticks, and I kind of feel like I'm the same way. And luckily I'm the one that kind of picks out some of the samples most of the time. Sometimes chat
Yeah.
is a little reactive to it, but it's mostly me just being like, ooh, this inspires something. So I think I have like a leg up automatically, but also I find myself sucking out of it 9 times out of 10 too. And some of these ones that get actually put out in 30 minutes, I'm like, holy bro, like my 30-minute game is not on point, like I'm that 6 hour flow, like ridiculous.
Yeah. And I think also it's like everybody has like that 10% where they do something good, but it's like because it's someone different every single round, you're like subconsciously thinking like, oh, I'm the worst one here, dude. Like I suck. I'm so bad. But it's really just like everyone's taking their turn doing something cool.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then surprisingly, like the ones that you'd think nobody's good at, everybody is like surprisingly good at too. Like the no drums or the 30 BPM or some weird stuff, like the mouth sounds. Like everybody comes through real clutch with like something that they're so out of their comfort zone with too. So sometimes it is good to just like push yourself there and just kind of do an exercise like with uh your usual routine, shake things up a bit. It is about, I guess, creativity. And I guarantee you the coolest things that I've ever made, and most artists ever made, were like accidental, it's like not even intentional.
With Ableton, I like got Ableton 11 recently. That was kind of like my Christmas present to myself because they had like a big like upgrade thing where they were like, "Oh, get the Live 11 Suite upgrade when you buy 10, and it's only $250 or something like that." So I was like, "Okay, this is the cheapest it's ever going to be." So I just went ahead and got it. and they have a whole bunch of features that like encourage you to mess around with randomness. So I've been finding myself experimenting with like making the computer generate ideas a lot.
Ooh.
So like I'll load up like a whole drum rack of percussion sounds and then have like this thing called bouncy notes. Um, and it's like a little fake bouncy ball that drops on like piano keys. And you can just hold one key down and it'll just infinitely drop balls. And it'll like simulate gravity and stuff. It's crazy.
What the fuck?
But you can key in like how many balls you want to be bouncing around and like how fast and all this other stuff. So it can get real nutty and you can generate, like drum loops and fills and like record the MIDI channels and then go back and edit the MIDI channels to like, make it sound like music. Like you clip out like that one piece out of the giant section of garbage that sounds really good. It's kind of like working with analog.
Yeah, okay. It's kind of like working with Tendril too, or something. Kind of like his like weirdness of randomness. Kind of just let the thing do what it does, I guess.
Yeah, and what I like to do is I just key in what I want the computer to kind of do, and then I let it do it.
Ooh.
And then I like to be surprised, and I pick out like that little like 2 beat section that's like, oh, that could be like the first line of a drop, and then you
Yeah.
can write the whole drop off of that.
It's crazy because you'd almost never know how to like go about going like and reverse engineering that, and like I think that's most of the stuff that we do as artists who we hear a cool sound and we're like, let me try to remake that, and that was almost a total random fucking synthesizer error or some weird sweep, that
Yeah.
like is it's going to be so hard to replicate, but just the randomness, it did it effortlessly, and that's almost where the magic happen is in that zone, when you're not trying to do something, and it's just like kind of comes from like a flow state or whatever. I don't know if you saw that movie Soul.
No, I haven't. No.
They talk about that though, that flow state, and
Yeah.
it's so relevant too with a lot of things, and it with like flow arts particularly, I think that's where I really like felt it and had like a way to like contextualize it, is like when you're just like, I don't know, I didn't seriously spin poi, but I'm sure if you're around the scene in a while, you've picked up a pair. And my brother was really into it, so I fucking span a little bit, and you could tell when you're in that zone, when you're just like just going with the movement, you're just feeling like motion. It's almost like jujitsu too. I don't know if you've ever done kind of, I guess, anything besides music that involves that flow state, that kind of just like,
Yeah, I was on drumline in high school,
oh shit,
and it's like flow state between like 10 people or 12 people or
wow,
depending on like the size of like how many people were in it.
yeah,
I played like snare drum and we were like a pretty competitive group like nationally. So we were playing, some like pretty real beats and like
what?
it was pretty fun. Like I honestly like sometimes think about it and miss it like because it's you and like 12 or 14 of your closest friends and y'all are all drumming and you're all like locked in on the beat and you have to be like insanely precise with your rhythmic articulation.
Yeah, that's like beautiful, honestly. Like no cap, that's like some real like you have to be locked in. Like one time I went to go see one of like my childhood friends. She's like a dancer, like not like see like opera and stuff, like crazy dancer like that. And I saw her and I was just mind blown. I'm like, bro, this is art with your body, you know what I mean? Like they were all like 18 of them doing crazy jumps and dancing. I mean, like from an outside perspective, it might not, I don't know. I never felt like that about dance before. But then when I saw it, I'm like, I want a music video of just like some fucking expressive dancing like that or some shit. It was insane. And you mentioning that is kind of like the same thing too, bro. You got to get locked in and everyone's on like the same metronome. It's fucking, that's
Yeah, like
beautiful.
we used to burn like a stick of incense when we'd warm up, and like the smell of the incense would like trigger something in your brain. So like every time it was before a show and we wanted to get like serious, like they say your sense of smell is like the number one like emotional reactant, I guess. Like that's like what you react to the most. And so
Really?
yeah, so I started actually burning a scented candle when I started producing. So like I take a candle like the same one every time, and every time I sit down to write, I burn it, and it puts me in the zone. Like I swear, like it
What?
works.
Yo,
Yeah, I
that's a
started.
that's a great trick. That's like a fucking oof. We're talking
But
about
yeah,
flow state. Like that's fucking that will trigger that probably, right? That's kind of what you're doing, right? It's like tapping
it's
into that
it,
zone.
yeah, it's trying to like trigger the emotional response of like just letting go and getting into it. And
Damn.
also, I try to just put my phone in a drawer too. That's a big thing.
Yeah.
It's like I get stuck on my phone. But yeah, no, like I still have dreams about the metronome, dude. Like that, like just ding, 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 like 8 clicks and you're in, like sort of
Oh
thing.
shit.
But I do miss it. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Made a lot of my closest friends from band and doing drums. But yeah, no, it's like flow state, but with like 10 other people, and it's like it gets your adrenaline going. It's crazy.
Wow. No, that's honestly really intense too. That because
Yeah.
it's literally like what we're doing. You know, like we have a single flow state. Maybe that's a little harder to tap into or easier for people. You know, but once you have like 8 other people, like you said, or a full band or other people dancing with you, it's like you almost have to be just taken into that too. So I mean, I don't know. It's definitely something I need to maybe trick my brain back into of just like, oh, get in the zone. There's 10 other people here watching, so I need to burn some scented candles or pretend I'm in the beat off when I'm not or something, because I feel like that lights a fire under my ass sometimes too. You know,
Yeah.
just having 30 minutes, I'm like, all right, even if it's shit, I'm just gonna do it, because if I have 6 hours, it could be shit and I waste 6 hours. If it's 30 minutes, I'm only wasting 20, 30 minutes on some shit.
Yeah, my thing was like I forgot who said it. I wish I could remember, but I saw it on Instagram one day, and someone said the hardest part about art is starting.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You know what,
It's like,
Mr. Bill kind of kicked me in the ass too, because we rated him one day, and someone's like, what gets you inspired? And he's like, Psh, inspiration. He's like, I do this for my job. I don't need inspiration. I need to fucking work. And I'm like, oh shit, man. I'm over here like, I'm not inspired. I need to get inspired. And he's like, fuck inspiration. I need to eat, bro. I'm like, damn. All right.
damn, that's some inspiration
Yo, for
when
real.
you're trying to eat.
Yeah, that is inspiration. Yeah, totally different. But I mean, what's more valid? Because I feel them. At the end of the day, like, I'm trying to get the money too. I'm trying to eat too. I mean, I'm eating pretty good, but I like right before I had to pluck a couple fucking rice out of my teeth, man, because we're eating so good. Some
Dude, yeah.
cultured
I've seen
rice, something weird. I don't know.
on my explore page on Instagram, I ran across Darlin's food Insta. Like it just popped up. Like I saw this delicious plate of food and I was like, "Oh God, who is that?" And I clicked on it and then it was like it was her. And I was like, "What? Brightside's eating good, man.
Oh yeah, good, definitely good, man. All the crazy stuff too, man. All heady stuff.
All that healthy,
Oh
all organic."
yeah. Now wait till she just goes to sleep, and then I'm eating, and then I'm snacking on everything. No, but it's been good, man. No complaints over here too, bro. But
Yeah.
what about this? What about this NOLA drumline shit? I mean, New Orleans they take that shit pretty seriously, right? Like,
I mean, yeah, so like I didn't grow up in New Orleans. I grew up like outside of it. But the band I was in, like they competed like on a national level, like in high school. And honestly, like the stuff I learned there is directly what translates like into my music now, like the people who taught me. And it's crazy because like I feel like I'm so much better prepared to like play live music and stuff than a lot of people like around me, because it's like I know what goes into like having to prep for a performance. Like I know that I can't just show up and play. Like I got to practice at least 10 or 12 hours before,
for real,
and
yeah.
it's like I got to get all my stuff set up to where like I have to have backups of backups of backups, because like I've gone through it in high school where someone forgets something, and if you don't have a backup, tough shit. So
Yeah. No.
so I mean, it kind of preps you for the music scene, believe it or not. Like because you think about all those hours you put into band, and you're just like, yo, like it's the same thing, really. Like I just have to get up there and execute and do like what I set out to do, and I got to make sure like I'm on top of it. Like no questions unanswered, no stones unturned. Like I got to make sure I'm ready for anything.
Yeah. No, that's a
So
good mentality to have too. Like this is what you want to put all that effort into too, right? It's like this is the passion at the end of the day.
yeah, like I mean, honestly, I'd love to turn music into my job. I'd love to like be able to travel a little bit, play at least 2 or 3 shows a month, and do it for a job, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get there, you know, one step at a time. In the past year, I really couldn't have asked for much more in terms of like everything that's happened, especially with COVID. Like I mean, zero opportunity to like really play out. But I mean, through Twitch and people supporting me through subscribers and this community and growing like just in followers, label releases, like I think it's gone really, really well for a first year on the project, you know?
Yo, 100%. Yeah, for a first year project during all the circumstances, I think that's
Yeah.
what's going to be the bar right now, too, is like all these producers just had a year to kind of hone their craft and do their thing. And even the ones that kind of were around and kind of like on the verge of bubbling, like I saw G Space's album release the other day, and Mans is like a full blown country star now. Like I don't know if you guys, yo,
What?
like auto tuned guitar and like yo crazy. So
What?
I'm like I want to have him on the podcast just to talk about like this shit because his last album was called like Cowboy Space Cowboys or something like that. So maybe he was hinting towards it, but I don't know, man, because it's straight up like country.
Like
You got to hear it.
he went mask off, dude.
Well,
He just went
bro.
for it.
And I don't know if
Showed
it's
his true
because of
self.
yeah, I don't know if it's because of the true self thing or like the having a year off or what it is. But when I first heard it, I was like, oh shit. I'm like, I don't want to say it was like indifferent. I was indifferent about it, but I was just like, oh, this is not what I was expecting. And then I'm like, that's exactly what all the rest of this scene's going to be doing is going to be hitting us with what we're not expecting right now. And I think that's what's going to be dope. Everyone had a year to kind of just, hit everybody with what they're not exactly what I just said. Yeah, they're not expecting, because everyone just fallen into the same trap before. Everyone just like was
Yeah.
making songs that sound like peekaboo and shit, So,
Bro, every song sounded like Babatunde for
bro,
like 6 months.
bro.
Every song that came out was Babatunde too. Like I like I remember that.
Yeah, no. So I mean, I like that everyone had kind of like a chance to refresh themselves and figure it out. And I'm just looking at the people who are already there and established. So now I'm waiting for like the other heads to come in and just the new generation. I'm like, holy,
Yeah, I mean, dude, I'm gonna be honest. I feel like a lot of the best young producers, ages 20 to 24, they're hanging in this channel, honestly. All of us kind of like got funneled in here for the most part.
Yeah, or like around Twitch in general too. Like they're lurking in
Yeah.
maybe the Whittlers channel or something. There's so
It's
many
like
of them.
between like 6 or 8 channels, there's probably like 50 or 100 people who
Yeah,
are just starting to get really, really good at music production. It's exciting, you know?
yeah, no, and
But
yeah. Oh, so sorry, go on.
I was just gonna say, like, I think it's awesome that this year happened in some ways, not like the pandemic, but like the ability for people to like really focus on music and figure out what they like to do. Like for instance, Taboo, just like G Space is like going on left field. Like he said, "Oh, I'm gonna do a comedy album." Like you're making, who would have thought of that, right?
Yeah.
And I've seen him play live like 5 or 6 times because he's local for me, and the last thing I expect out of him is a comedy album, right? And same with G Space, like Cowboy, like that is not what I expected. I haven't listened to the album yet, but that's definitely not what I expected, like space cowboy vibes. But I think it's cool. And another reason why it's cool is like I feel like it did some like some weeding out. Like the people who were really passionate about the music stuck around, of course. And the people who just, were burnt on it or maybe made their money and were ready to get out are probably like, hey, I mean, time to end it.
Yeah.
So I
No.
mean, I feel like it was good.
100%.
It's kind of like a boom bust cycle of the bass music economy. We're
Ooh.
coming back strong though.
Damn, is that an economics term? Boom bust?
Maybe. Yeah,
Damn.
maybe. I mean, I might have been. I'm day trading crypto a little bit on the side.
Oh, shit, I don't got my
Those-
degree or anything, but I could throw a few terms around.
Oh, I'm not a financial advisor. Don't trust me at all. Don't trust. I feel like if anything, I just got really lucky, bro. Like what happened was like, how Audius gave away those audio tokens?
Yeah.
Well, I got like over 1,000 of them. And I completely, because I was one of the first like few thousand members, because I did that remix contest that I didn't even win. Right. And so I'm sitting on like 1,400 tokens, and then all of a sudden they were worth like 20 cents or something. So I was like, I'm gonna just hold on to them. Who cares? Let's see what
Yeah.
happens. And then a few months ago, or like last month, overnight they were worth $5.
Yeah.
So
Bro.
I very quickly exchanged them for Ethereum, and Ethereum at that time was worth like 1,800, and now it's at like 2,500,
25.
2,400.
Yeah, just check today.
So so like I'm like flipping crypto like crazy now. I'm buying all these penny crypto for like, like 40 cents a pop, and I'm just buying like 4,000 tokens, and I'm just waiting for them to hit $1, and then I'm just like flipping, and
My man's buying shitcoin.
yeah, I'm buying shit coins.
Damn, bro. That's fire though. Good for you. Yo, that's
Yeah,
crazy because all my shit's on Audius and I have 0 tokens. So I mean, you made out like a bandit.
dude, I made out like around like 5K for like
Holy.
getting 97 plays. Isn't that awesome?
Bro, everyone go stream my shit on Audius, bro. Come on. Let's
Yeah,
go.
so
Oof.
it's hilarious. At the same time, dude, I believe in karma. I think it was karma because I did that charity thing with Dearden, and we raised around the same amount of money for feeding people.
That's true.
And so I think it was like a karma thing. And also, I didn't get any sort of like stimulus check because of like tax stuff.
Damn.
Basically, like because I never like left school before the pandemic started, I haven't had the opportunity to become like non-dependent. So like I had to be filed as a dependent and I couldn't get the stimmy.
Oh, that's
So
fucked up.
it was kind of like the universe all came around and was like, hey, you did some good stuff while you were struggling. So here you go. It's right back to you.
Oof. Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you,
So
shitcoin. Thank you,
yeah,
Ethereum, and
thank you,
fucking
Audius.
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, yo, that was crazy. Cause that's actually when I uploaded my shit. I was way late, but it was when it got to like $3. I was like, I'm fucking up, bro. What am I doing right now? I'm making
Yeah.
pennies for fucking SoundCloud and Spotify. Get out of here. But no,
And
I mean, Audius is definitely, and that's just the beginning too. So if you have your music up there, that's like it's like your own way to generate those too. It's not like, you got lucky. If we keep this up and Audius or that becomes the norm, like we could continue doing this and artists actually get paid for their music, which makes 100% sense. Like I'm not trying to, I always give it out for free too, but I mean, if you have the ability to pay for it, why is the Spotify fucking CEO a billionaire? And
yeah.
it's ridiculous. So like spread it out a little bit, I feel like, or up the
Yeah.
dividends or something.
And if anything, I think Audius is just really healthy for the music business because it's going to force the other streaming companies to start, like you said, like splitting up the pie. Because, like,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you know, but SoundCloud recently redid how they do royalties.
Dude, like how
Yeah.
would bump the number up or what?
Basically, like, you're going to get paid way more
Oh shit.
because, like,
Good.
I think they're feeling the competition from Audius. Like, people, especially since it's like, a similar platform, like, just go upload your stuff, everyone share it around sort of thing.
Yeah.
SoundCloud's sweating. They're like, okay, like we really need to get people like on SoundCloud,
Yeah. Good. I
or
mean,
else
they have to.
yeah, it's like some healthy competition.
Yeah. No, that's a good
But
business model too. Like you are a stakeholder pretty much, and why you want to promote the company then almost. I wouldn't want to be, I want to be an Audius rapper, not a SoundCloud rapper. You know what I mean? Like at least they're fucking holding me down.
yeah, Audius is handing out crypto, bro.
Yo, come
Welcome,
on.
welcome to 2020, old man. Like it's the 2020s, dude.
Get with it, bro. Come
Get
on.
with it. But yeah,
Damn.
no, I mean, I think it's awesome, and even though I kind of cashed out, and I'm hoping that I'm gonna stay active on Audius. Like all my music's gonna start going up there too, and I mean, I haven't really done anything on my Audius account other than upload a couple songs, and it just seems like discoverability is really good. Like people just seem to like follow me on there. So I'm thinking about maybe making the full transition if SoundCloud doesn't really start taking off, or like if I'm not seeing a lot of growth on SoundCloud, I might just say like, hey, I'm switching to Audius.
Yeah. No, you came in at a like I don't want to say an awkward time for SoundCloud too, but there was like only one that's why there was SoundCloud rappers, because there was one avenue for them to put their shit out, or YouTube or whatever. But now there's a couple more avenues, and everyone who was kind of solidified on SoundCloud, they have to either move and see their new algorithms and their new kind of their reach and stuff, because that I've always thought about that too. When MySpace died, everyone had to move over to Facebook, so you're judging all these old bands off of like who liked Creed when Facebook was even out. But then they still had to keep up a social media presence and funnel everybody from MySpace to that, and it gets smaller and smaller, and hopefully you just kind of like grow on one platform, and I don't know, and that doesn't die. But I mean, it's good to spread yourself thin. I mean, I guess not thin, but all over the place too, and not have all your ducks in one egg. But what about streaming for you too? Because I know that was a way you were getting in touch with people and talking to people too. Are you still looking into that as a means?
Yeah, definitely. Like I want to get right back to streaming this week. Like over the past few weeks I've been trying to like, kind of make that comeback. I just got my second vaccine dose,
Oh.
and they say like, "Hey, get ready. You're going to feel some side effects on day 2." So I might not stream tomorrow, but I'm hoping, like throughout the week I'm going to be streaming again. And basically like I was trying to take some time off to like really like do a job search and like try to get that all locked down. Still hasn't happened yet. So I kind of figure like, hey, I mean, I'm making money on Twitch. I definitely need to be like putting out content for everybody, especially if people are subscribed to me.
Yeah.
So I definitely want to be better at that. I kind of took like a 2 or 3 week break for like a mental health vacation because I was burning myself out and I wasn't having fun anymore because like I think I was just trying too hard, honestly. You know what I mean?
Yeah. 100%.
And yeah, I was just trying way too hard to like write music every single day, and that alone can just burn you out. And I think what's like much healthier would be like I need to get back on and then just do whatever I want to do for the day and trade it. Like yeah, like you're saying, Mr. Gigs, treat it like a job because I mean nothing else is paying out really. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And
I mean I've been trying.
you got creative control of this too, so it's nice, but then that also is stressful too, because like your music, you got to stay on top of yourself with productivity and just being I don't want to say like positive, but like upbeat. I feel myself sometimes like certain things weighing on me, and then I wouldn't want to watch somebody who's just like but that's
Yeah.
so like sometimes I have to pull myself out of it, and it's too late sometimes. Like I'll come out of a stream and being like, was I really, I have to like retroactively think about how I was acting or presenting myself or whatever too, and that could get a lot like hella stressful too, just like being kind of conscious of all these people kind of, even if there's 3 or 4 people in chat, you're still trying to entertain people, I guess, at the end of the day, and that's a tough job too.
Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely. And I've been kind of feeling around like a whole bunch of games and like a whole bunch of other things I can do on stream because I've been trying to like I want to stream like consistently, but it's really hard to consistently stream just one thing. And I think like anybody who streams like understands that. Like even
Yeah.
if it's a game like you really like say you love Apex Legends, it's like you don't want to play like 5 hours a day every day. Like it
No.
gets exhausting.
Yeah, ridiculous. I'm like
Yeah.
all my followers or the people that I used to follow on Twitch are still coming up, and they're like RuneScape followers. I'm like, y'all are still playing RuneScape, and they've been playing for like 4 years, and it's just because I've changed my game for like the last 2 months. I'm like, y'all are still playing this? I'd be mad bored by now, but they've been playing it for like 8 years, and I'm like, does that weigh on these people too? They feel like they have to play these games or do these things.
I think at that point those people are like so invested in the game. They feel like they have to like keep going cuz like they want to hit the end goal,
That's true.
especially on games like RuneScape. But yeah, no, I've been trying to like find the right vibe of game, I guess, or like right activity to do that's maybe not streaming, or not writing music. I've been thinking about trying to get into NFTs, honestly,
Trading them or
because
like making them?
making them.
Oh shit! So musically, or you do visual art too? So is that where you'd kind of put
Yeah,
the effort?
it would be both. It would be like little mini, I don't know, like 10-second audio visual clips.
Oh,
And I've
okay.
been thinking about doing like, getting more into Blender and like 3D modeling and doing stuff with like I had this idea to do like mechanical insects because insects kind of look like robots. You know what I mean? Like they
Yeah.
have like kind of stiff joints and they're all like hard bodied. Be like, how crazy would it be to see like a super complex like mechanical centipede like crawling across the screen? You know, or something like that.
Okay. It's like a whole
So
EP design or something, like an EP theme or some shit.
yeah, and like you could theme like an E like I think I was thinking about tying the NFTs in with the music I'm putting out because like a lot of people they're only doing one or the other.
Hmm.
Like for instance, like I noticed like Flume, well, I don't want to speak for Flume, but it seemed like he did like a big NFT drop where it was kind of just like some sound design and then they did like some visuals that like matched his aesthetic. And I thought they were really cool, but I was like, well, why don't you just put like your actual music into the NFT and then like combine the project, you know? It's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, look, you can own a piece of my EP. Like here are the highlights and I've put them into NFTs,
Ooh.
you know.
That's
Now you
actually a
can
really
own
cool
them.
idea too. Yeah. Own
Yeah.
like a little piece, like a clip that's one specific person. Oh shit, I like that.
It's like you chop up the EP or the release into like smaller chunks and then you pick out, you know, maybe the highlights or the best parts. In our case, like our drops, I guess.
Yeah.
And then chop those up and be like, all right, if you want drop one, part one, it's a one of one. Come
Ooh.
get it. And you put it out.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
genius, man. I think, there's like a flood of people kind of getting into the NFT market right now and they heard, "Oh, you can make big money." I think that's what is of course going to bring a lot of people into it, you know?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's going to it's going to flood the market, but the real original shit is still going to I think hold true. I mean, I don't know because fucking 8-bit pictures of a dog is fucking selling for like 7 ethereum or some shit, ridiculous things, but like I think originality will go a long way too, I think
Yeah.
that
And
especially with pieces that are it's going to become more popular, with VR and shit, so why
and
not?
I mean, I've been trying to like figure out like what I want to do with it, like what format I want to put it on. Like I'm trying to think like, well, how should you view my NFTs, right? Like should I view them like holding my phone? Because you know how like with like something like Coinbase, you have like a wallet with like the collectibles in it. So like you can literally view the NFTs from your phone. Or do I want people to see it on their TV or their computer, whatever? And you got to I guess like adjust your resolutions and everything for that. And it's
Oh,
just trying to like figure out like what exactly like the vision is for the piece, I
yeah.
guess.
Yeah,
But
where would it be
no,
displayed, I guess, and stuff like that?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I've been thinking about it. I've always been interested in like the 3D modeling and like digital art and stuff. But my computer, it's by no means bad, but it's going on like 4 or 5 years old now. And I'm starting to feel it a little bit.
Oh, okay.
So I've been thinking about maybe taking this Audius cache and dumping it into a 3080 and like
Ooh.
get stepping up get like a Ryzen 10 core 3080, get like a beast of a PC and just go crazy. Like, do that big upgrade.
Yeah, might as well. I mean, it's kind of self-sustaining at that point. It's not like you worked for all. I mean, you did work for the money, but it was like the artwork that worked for the money at a
Yeah.
certain point,
It's taking what you get from the music and the art and putting it back into it to make better stuff. Like I would buy like a new display because like I'm rocking a 1080p monitor. I mean, it's a good one, right? But it's like probably want to get like a legit like 4K creators monitor if I was gonna really get into that stuff.
Mm,
Maybe upgrade my studio monitors too because I'm
yeah,
rocking some 5-inch JBLs and they get the job done, but maybe it's time for some Atoms,
yeah.
get something better.
Surround sound. You never know. You
Yeah,
never
I'll
know what the
get just
NFT people want.
yeah, it's like a whole new frontier, honestly.
Yeah, I mean,
And
and talking about the G Space thing. Sorry to cut you off, but did you see the fucking super task thing that like the little visual movie he put out?
I saw like the promo for it, but I didn't see it yet.
Yeah, like that. Talking about kind of the NFTs and your way of showcasing the EP and having it like that. Um, it was nice in a sense of like uniqueness, choose your own adventure kind of thing. So he had people like kind of choose like one or two, option one or two kind of thing, or choose the vial or the book, like weird stuff like that. And I thought that was super unique too. But then in between all that was like a little bit of visual pieces and some a little bit more like storytelling, like way more cinematic and had like a narrative than others.
Yeah.
But yeah, it got me really inspired too to just kind of, I'm like, dude, where my music videos been at? Like I need to fucking, it
We need
needs
white
to,
chocolate too.
bro, exactly. And I started thinking about things too. So I don't know if it's going to translate to an NFT kind of thing, but the visual aspect is definitely one of the most important parts, like right now, of being I guess an artist. Even musician. It's like you got to be visually
Dude,
on point too.
dude, like, I mean, from the very beginning, I knew, like, as soon as I saw my first show and like I really saw like electronic music, like for what it was, and I realized how cool it was, I knew like I wanted to create like an audio visual experience, right? Like I saw G Jones, and like that's a pretty good person to look at for like AV, right?
Yeah.
And he was my first like big show, and I saw that and I was like, dude, I want to do something like this where it's like I create my own world. And it's like you step into that club, the lights go out, and it's like this is a vibe. Like this is a different planet.
Yeah.
So for me, the only way to do that is to have like full control over everything. Like, so I have to have control over the music, control over the visuals, and all that. And I find myself like more and more being inspired by visual stuff to write music. So, like, I might watch a movie or play a game that I think has really cool art, and I'll feel like that will inspire me more than like listening to other music. So, I feel like I need to get back into my flow of like, I need to like make visual pieces to express myself, like, I guess quickly. And then I can like contemplate how I feel about that through music. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, dude, 100% makes sense because actually there was this like video game review that I was watching. It was The Last of Us. I don't know if you've heard of that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, The
Yeah,
Last
Last
of
of Us
Us.
is great.
Oh, you played it?
I played the first one. I didn't play the
Oh,
second one because everyone was like, everyone freaked out about the second one.
bad, right?
Well, it was real mixed.
I,
Some people were like, it's genius, and other people were like, don't even bother, you know?
yeah. No, that's what I was kind of watching. It was the first one compared to the second one, and how like the first one, the overall storytelling was fucking so good, and how like it didn't what's the word, like ham fist the way you're supposed to feel into the
Yeah.
game. It kind of left it up to you, and left you up to kind of decide whether what he did was right or if you would do the same thing. And bro, it literally took me on it was like the same day I watched the super task thing, so it was like 2 days ago. And just visual, like having a visual and musical piece, like just it just was all coming together in my head. I'm like, it needs to be something like this, like a morally ambiguous kind of like storyline, where it just puts you in that guy's position. You don't even want to say what he did was right or wrong, putting sacrificing all the people for the girl, like, because it's just it's like a age old kind of question, especially in today's climate too. Do you want to care about everybody else, when at the end of the day you got to care about yourself too? You got to protect yourself because nobody else is looking out for you right now, and that's what it was. It was a post-apocalyptic kind of world, and it's the same dog eat dog kind of vibe that I've been getting from just the world in general now. Like, do you want to, or do the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few? I think that's like a fucking Star Trek line or some shit.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, when I played The Last of Us back, like, I played it like when it came out, and I was only like 15 or something like that. And I mean, that
Dang.
game honestly hit like real hard for being 15 years old, you know? Like, that game was real, it was raw. But I guess what was so like good about that game was that it was gritty and stuff just sort of happened to you, and you felt like you weren't in control of like 90% of what happened during the game. Like, it was like you were just trying to get something done, and in between, like, a whole bunch of shit went down.
Bro,
you
isn't that
know?
life? You know, isn't that this whole
Yeah.
thing? And I mean, I've
Yeah.
been looking at things so cynically lately too. But then you know what? Like I kind of live life like by quotes and shit, like one liners. I'm just a simple kind of dude like that. You know, just summaries. And this DMX quote really fucking hit me too. He's like, "Yo, not trusting people is way too taxing on you. You know, it's way too like it takes way too much effort." He's like, if you trust a snake to be a snake, you trust a thief to be a thief. Like that's just you don't have to think two steps ahead of people. You just know who they are and what's gonna happen. You know, and you got to trust yourself to to know who these people are, you know, at your gut instinct. And I don't know, at the end of the day, that's kind of been the thing that's resonated with me too, whether it be down the line or immediately. You know, once you get a certain vibe about people, you got to trust your instinct almost too, you know, because the music industry and politics and all the shit that's going on right now, it's kind of fucking, it's very taxing, you know. It's like to try to stay ahead of everything and everybody who's like out to get you, because there are people,
Yeah.
you know, whether you want to think it or not. Like,
I mean, dude, even there, I mean, even companies that we consider like essential, right? Like at the end of the day, they're just trying to take our money.
or
Like they
information or something, you know, nothing's
yeah,
free.
yeah,
But that gets real depressing and taxing at the end of the day too. So once I heard that quote, I'm like, shit, man, I've been stressing way too much and just kind of like trying to outsmart everything or just like stay two steps ahead, and like you said, putting too much like trying to overthink things and doing what your stream like it's life too. It's the whole life, you know. Like I feel like once you just like head in the sand like that, it's too hard to get out, you know. It's over.
yeah, yeah. And I mean, I've been starting to kind of feel that vibe with music. Like when I first started, I was like real cautious of like everybody around me in the sense of like I was like, are they gonna try to steal my song if I send them stems? Are they gonna do like,
Yeah.
is this label gonna try like are they trying to get me or rip me off? But it's like honestly, you can kind of tell like the vibe of the people you're talking to or working with, like within 3 or 4 messages, I think. Like or three like just a short phone call. Like you
Yeah.
can really catch the vibe of like who you're working with. And if you don't feel it right away, you should probably just walk away
Yeah. Nah,
and
for
just
real.
not like instead of going through some big argument or like getting engaged with like a lawsuit or whatever, it's like, dude, just walk away. Like
Yeah.
if you don't feel it right off.
Yeah, and that's as simple as it is too, you know? Like realistically, like it's really not as big as we make things seem. It's just like as simple as walking away or just like, all right, I'm done, you know? Like it's kind of just the way it is. Like when I had to talk with my manager or like ex-manager now, it was just like I was kind of building up in my head like, oh man, like I'm letting the dude down, like blah blah blah. I'm like I'm not on my shit. And then I'm like, why do I need a manager? Like, so I was trying to let him go, but at the same time feeling like, you know, I could be doing more. Should I be holding down this relationship? You know, like, should I be doing more to make up for this too? And at the end of the day, when I talked to him, it was like just way easy and just, I overthought it, you know? And I think that's the thing with 90% of what we got going on is just in our heads, we make it seem way worse.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, seriously. Seriously, yeah. Like I definitely exhaust myself like doing backflips in my head trying to be 2 steps ahead of everything. And it's
Yeah.
like, I don't know. Sometimes, but also you're right, man. Like sometimes it's we take it all way too serious, but at the end of the day, it's like we're just making electronic music.
Yeah.
It's
Dude.
like
Make computer sounds like it's not that serious, you
it's
know?
not that
We're
serious.
not
Yeah,
that
exactly.
important, you know? Like it's
Like
really,
it's not like I'm out here like president of the US trying to decide whether or not I'm like gonna do that airstrike or whatever. Like I'm
yeah.
not doing anything that serious. It's just I'm just writing beats,
Yeah.
really.
No, but it does feel like a lot of pressure, you know, when it comes to like
Yeah.
3 minutes before stream and you're like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like 3 minutes before you go on a fucking stage and you get a fucking, you know, I don't know if this is the same experience with like drumline and stuff, but nerves sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm anxious. I just want to go home, you
Yeah.
know. But then when you're doing it, it's like, fuck it, this is all I want to do forever, you know. Like, but
Or you're like, oh, I just want to take a nap, or oh, like no one's gonna show up today anyway. Like you try to like make those excuses, you know.
yeah. So it was it like that for drumline too? Was it like kind of like putting a lot of pressure on yourself, or having it evenly distributed with a lot of people helped?
I I took it pretty serious because like I mean, that was the only part of like band that I really liked. Like I didn't really care about like doing the, I guess like doing the show, if that makes sense. I didn't really care that much about like doing the concert band stuff, whereas like the symphony sort of stuff, I didn't care about any of that. All I really cared about was like drumming. And
Oh
so
shit.
that was like my time to like hang out with my friends and play music. So like I took it pretty serious because like I wanted to be good. Because I just had like a lot of exposure to like good teachers and like good music when I was growing up. And so like it was, I didn't want to suck basically because like I knew what sucking sounded like, you know?
So what
And
is
like,
like it's like pretty integral down there though, right? Like especially like drum lines and like band and stuff for that's a pretty big part of like just the culture and stuff, right? Like
in
marching
this
bands is fucking huge.
in the South, yeah. Yeah. Because like football's so big. Like think of how big high school football is. Like high school band is just as big.
Damn. No, so
But
that's a lot of pressure on you too, you know? You're not just like a little fucking small dinky town band. You got a lot of like culture to fucking like live up to almost.
yeah, like the one I was in, we were like top 12 nationally.
Jesus.
So we were
Damn.
pretty good, you know.
Yeah.
And we were just inching in on that top 12. Like don't get me wrong, like we weren't like, you know, winning anything, but like we were good enough to where it was like there was pressure. You wanted to like make finals every year. You wanted to be really good. And I mean, but that's sort of like getting pushed like that by those band teachers, I think is what showed me like even if subconsciously like I wanted to do music.
Oh.
And even though I went to college and I started out with like engineering or whatever, like after I went to my first show, it like reignited it and it was like, hey, like you need to listen to yourself. Like you want to do music.
Ooh.
You know, it's like you just didn't know that you wanted to do like this kind of music.
Yeah. And did
Yeah.
did the drive kind of get like brought over too? Because like you said, having people kind of on your ass, like maybe I don't know. I find that a lot with like sports too. You know, people kind of translate like maybe they're training for like college sports or high school sports into their next endeavor, and you know, I'm sure it's just as much being in the band. So like, did you have
Y-
to bring that same
y-
kind of energy?
Yeah, like I have always been somebody who was never like super, I don't want to say like not talented, but like not that talented. Like you know like some kids like in band or whatever, like you could show them any piece of music and they could just play it.
Yeah.
Like they didn't have to practice. Like I was always like a practicer. Like I have to practice. So I knew that and I would spend like hours and hours like in front of a mirror every day like practicing like drum technique
Oh shit.
and like watch and like comparing myself to like people who I thought were really good at drumming. And so it was kind of the same thing with music. It's like I need to understand everything about computer music before I can get good at it. And
Damn.
so I started digging in, doing a lot of reading, doing a lot of YouTube, and kind of just try to teach myself everything, you know? And like even to this day, I really try not to compare myself as much because it can be kind of a trap, you know? But like I still look at people like for instance like Mr. Bill. I paid for a couple months of his like master classes just to see how he does things and like compare it to myself and like what tools is he constantly reaching for? Like what are his main techniques? You
That's
know?
yeah. That's fucking. That's
And
like a great way to do it. You know, learning
yeah,
from
and
the masters.
yeah, it's like I had someone teach me basically like you got to master the fundamentals if you're going to get good at anything. Like that was like his main approach. And so I kind of understood that and took it into like writing music, like doing music production. I'm by no means like a master of music production yet. I mean, eventually I'd like to be there, you know, maybe 10 years from now. It's so deep, like I could never do it like after just a couple years. But that's the ultimate goal is to like um, understand everything there is to know about Ableton.
So like a master certificate, is that what you're going for?
No, I don't care.
Oh.
Like I don't care if anyone else says I'm a master.
Oh, okay,
I
okay.
just want to be like I want to be good enough at it to where it's like I can manipulate it to do whatever I want and like basically break it. Like you know how Mr. Bill basically just breaks Ableton and makes it do
Yeah.
crazy stuff,
Yeah.
and he just thinks of new ways to do something like
It's not
off
like
the
he's just
top.
throwing shit at the wall. He's doing it on purpose. Like he's like, I'm gonna do
Yeah,
this and this.
he's like,
Yeah.
I have a problem. Oh yeah, I'll combine these 18 effects that aren't related to this problem at all, and it'll fix it.
Yeah.
Like you know stuff like that. He just understands like signal processing and stuff so well. that he's able to do these things.
Yeah.
And
No,
so
for
like
real.
I eventually want to get there and like master everything. But you know, it takes years to do that.
Yeah.
And even with drumming, like if I look back at myself, like by the time I stopped doing like rudimental drumming and everything, like marching drums, it's a different technique than like drum set. By the time I stopped, I was just approaching a point where I'd say like I had the capacity to play pretty much everything.
Ooh.
And that took 9 years, you know, of like hard practice.
Yeah.
So like from when I was like 8, I was like 9 when I started and I stopped when I was like 18, 19.
And it was like a main focus of like your even schoolwork too, you know. It's like that's when you know, like now I guess you might not have to have a job, you're big crypto balling, but you know, like you have to work for 6 hours of the day or 7 8 hours of the day, 12 hours of the day, and then do a little bit of music, you know. Like if you're 9 years mostly revolved around drums, that's putting in the 10,000 hours plus, you know. But for everybody else, like now it's like oof, now we got to work around our other schedules to fucking make time for that and get the 10,000 hours in.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's with all that band practice and stuff, dude, like 4 days a week, 4 hours after school, like whatever, like those hours like certainly like really added up. But I mean, it all plays back into this, really.
Yeah,
Like
very
my
true.
musicianship and
Very
the way I
true.
think about like writing and arranging all plays back into that. But
Yeah.
like
Wow.
now it's just like the way I started approaching it was like, okay, music and like drums and everything taught me the fundamentals. Band taught me all the fundamentals. Now it's like I have to learn how to play drums again, but with the computer. That's kind of like how I try to think about it.
Is there a way you could translate it? Like, is there drum pads, like MIDI drum pads, maybe you could kind of send signals to if you were to maybe just like a skin or a snare drum?
Yeah, I think I could, but like I don't know. If I'm being honest, I always thought people who had like drum pads were kind like I don't want to say that's like kind of cheap, but it kind of seems like a cheap thrill, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's like I don't know. I feel like with electronic music, the easiest way to do things is probably just to either do like through an Ableton set through like a controller, like what you do, or do like CDJs. Because like any other way, it's just like it makes it harder than it has to be for the performances, and you're kind of almost taking away from the part of the performance that makes it so good, which is like the flow
that's
of the
true.
set. But
There's
if you're so focused on like like hitting 1,000 notes a minute, it's like you're gonna mess up more often, and like people might not have as great of an experience.
No, that's very true, actually. You know, I didn't even think of that too, and that's why maybe having someone like Zone Drums, I've seen him go up with like Boogie T and stuff, and him kind of just have like a, I think he calls it like his mobile drum pack or something. It's pretty much just a snare, maybe one or two other pads, but you know, if you were solely focused on fucking hitting all these goddamn snare rolls and drum rolls, then you probably wouldn't be transitioning or doing these other things. So maybe having him do it on the side or every once in a while is good. I think maybe Cohen
Like
Sound does something like that too.
I think it's cool. I definitely think it's cool like in a group setting. You know what I mean? But it's like I guess personally, I don't see much of a point if I'm just gonna hit like a couple tom notes or whatever,
That's
it's
true.
like
Yeah.
it's like who cares? But like it's definitely cool like in a group setting, like people who are doing like the finger drumming and like there's other instruments adding on, or they're doing like live looping, like like
Yeah.
honeycomb, somebody like that.
Yeah.
I think that's super dope. But I guess like for what I'm trying to do, I guess I'm just trying to be more focused on like arranging and writing.
That's true.
You know?
Okay. So you think it's going to loop back into that, or is that just kind of where you've molded to? Like, has this been something you're going to work up to, or have you already been through that and you're like, all right, you've come to this conclusion? Like, yeah, it's not even worth focusing on that end of the things for now.
I might come back to it honestly because like I do catch myself. I have a MIDI controller and honestly it's sitting on the floor gathering dust like under my desk and like because my desk instead of my MIDI controller it's got my PS4 on it. So, but like I don't know. Like when I first started, I guess I was so like into the computer side of things, like I just didn't touch a MIDI keyboard very much. But
Yeah.
now it's coming back around to where it's like, I should probably get better at like playing the keys, like start thinking about stuff because it would be nice to just be able to say, "Oh, I'm in this key. I need to just jam out a melody," and not have to think about it very much.
Yeah.
Like, because now I have to like, all right, I'm in this key. What keys are in the scale? Okay, it's these keys, and I look at the keyboard, and then like I got like sausage fingers trying to hit it, just like like my fingers feel like rubber because like I don't have any like keyboard chops. And so it's like I should probably work on playing the keys a little bit so I could maybe jam out some melodies.
Okay. So
That's definitely
different.
the thing
It's a
though.
different kind of instrument then.
Yeah, because like the drums, like those were my foundation for sure. Like I love drums, but I think that was like I don't want to say it's the past, but I feel like it's kind of the past,
Ooh.
for
Yeah.
me.
I mean, I don't think
And
I've heard that. I mean, we've done kind of like a Girth Gang V1 interview, so I don't know how long we really sat down and talked, but I think this is the first time I'm hearing about you being a collegiate fucking drumliner over here.
yeah, I mean, I never played drums in college. It was only through high school.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, like I didn't want to do it in college because like when I first went into school, I was thinking like, oh, I want to do like I want to focus on academics because like I thought I was gonna do like a STEM degree going into college, and then it turns out I got sucked into electronic music.
A STEM degree?
Yeah, like science, technology, engineering, or math.
Oh shit, I never heard that.
Yeah, so I thought it started with chemical engineering, and because I used to really like chemistry, but then I realized like actually I don't like chemistry that much. Like when it starts getting hard, you're like, oh no, 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 no. And then I was like, well, I like math. So I did math for a couple of years, and I really do like math. I still think it's interesting, but um, I realized I didn't like it that much. Like I didn't like it to a point to where I was gonna let people extort my math brain to make money because that's what was gonna happen.
That's crazy. What would you even have a career doing? Like, what were you thinking about mathematically?
Either like statistical analysis, so like taking a whole bunch of data and making it into like, make it make sense,
Yeah.
or just doing like so or like computer algorithms, stuff like that.
Jesus.
But I just realized like I know I can do it, but I'm sitting there looking at the schoolwork and every time I just kept going back to writing music on Ableton. And I was like, when am I going to be real with myself and just do what I want to do,
Yeah, because it's
That's what
gonna
it
be the
came
rest
out
of your
to.
life. You're just gonna be fucking sitting there working and then getting home and making music. I guess
Yeah,
doing
and
math.
I was looking at my career paths and all this stuff and it's like, yeah, the jobs pay well. Yeah, they're cushy and awesome, but it's like if I'm mentally exhausting myself every day at work trying to solve these like huge problems, do I really think I'm going to come home and write music? No, I'm going to drink a beer and like watch TV.
Yeah.
So it's like I thought, okay, I would rather at least like during my 20s work a job that's a little bit easier on the brain, even if it only just pays the bills, and focus on music and let that make up the rest of my income and try to like make it work. Maybe
Yeah.
go back to school down the line, but for now it's more about like I want to focus on the music.
Yo, that's dope though. I mean, has music? I mean, math ever come into play with music too? I know that's like such a weird question, but even producing wise or problem solving wise, has that been like? Have you noticed like mathematical equations in your music?
Not so much equations, but more of like logic, like being like I took a bunch of classes like towards the end, like some 3 and 4,000 level like proof classes. And basically that's like, here's a problem. Now write it in like a universal way that proves that it works that way or like disprove it. So
Yeah.
it's almost like being a lawyer, but with math. Like you have to like approach it from every angle and then cross out all the possibilities and say like this is the one true possibility. And so with music, it's actually been super helpful to like practice thinking like that because it's
Really?
like, why does my sound like this or why doesn't it sound the way I want it to? And then you can think about all the different problems and scratch them out one by one. Like you're trying to, it's a different way of thinking.
I would think it was the opposite since you just said like your whole job would be to find like finite things, like why it does certain things and what's the variable, like so there is no variable almost, so that like you figure out the equation. And I feel like music is almost the opposite. It's like I guess not if you're Mr. Bill, because he's like you're saying, doing it very systematically and doing it because he knows the reason why. So maybe from a math approach that's how we need to do it. But yeah, I'm thinking music is over here like kind of breaking the rules and breaking those kind of equations and shit that makes what we know, and kind of that, and then that ends up in new territory and shit. But what you're saying is you figure out the problem so you could kind of work around it. I think that's Mr. Bill's approach too, right? Is like he's kind of he comes at it from a fucking scientist approach. Like he knows
Yeah.
what everything does, why certain things do what they do, and
Yeah.
approaches it as such.
And if I'm like, trying to make a tune, like I notice most of the problems with my mixes, like when I'm trying to turn the tune up, right? Like when I'm trying to make it loud or mastered or whatever. And so I've been trying to like, basically my whole goal has been since I started, how do I make writing music as easy as possible? Because if I don't have to think about it, then it's just going to be like, it's just going to go, right?
Yeah.
So like I've been my entire time writing music, probably since like 2 or 3 months into it, I've been trying to make a template that just like mixes everything for me as much as possible.
Ooh,
And
nice.
so eventually, hopefully in the next year or so, I'll have it so fine tuned that I just throw in everything, maybe do a little bit of leveling, maybe turn a compressor knob or two, and then it's done.
Perfect. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think we know like just based off of like your sound and you having like a particular sound that maybe the drums and the snares go a certain way, or the bass is processed a certain way. It would definitely fucking streamline a whole bunch of tunes if you just had like a simple mastering thing. Because that's the thing with the the beat offs too, is that once I get to 30 minutes and the submissions start coming in, they're bricks. I'm like, bro, what did you do to this? Like, you had time to fucking sit there and master this in between the last two minutes of the challenge? Or they're like, no, I just had a mastering chain. I'm like, I've been doing this for how long? I still don't have a mastering chain. I'm an idiot at this point, you know?
Dude, you want me to be honest with you? I think the mastering chain of the true masters is a glue compressor and a limiter.
Yeah, I think that's definitely what it is. I
Yeah,
think
it's like
Essex
that's
told
it.
me too. Yeah, Essex is like, I just got a limiter on this. Some of the things he plays out live. I'm like,
Yeah, and they just mix loud.
oof.
And I started doing that, and I'm not gonna lie, it's been going a little bit better.
Oh shit.
Um, I've been kind of digging it because like when the tune's done, I have like one of two options. It's either like, okay, I just put a utility a little bit before and maybe turn it up like 1 or 2 dB if I feel like I can push it a little harder, or I just export it and it's hitting like as loud as it should.
Oh shit. All right. So you're getting there, huh?
Yeah, and other than that, when it comes to music and stuff, I've been trying to broaden my sound a little bit, but also go back to my roots. Like I know that doesn't make any sense, but like one of the first ever things I put out as 5 star was it was like a mix where it was like a mix of like halftime and trap and stuff like that. And I feel like I want to go back to that and like be like that was me when I said screw everything, I'm gonna do myself and be genuine with music. And then over the past year or so, I found myself being like, oh, I need to write a tune that's like gonna get played by DJs. And I fell back into the trap that I fell into the year before. And I was like, no, no, no. So this year I really want to do like more authentic stuff. And not that last year wasn't, but you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
and one of my initial goals was like, I want to make really sick halftime, like Chi or like Culprit or people like that. But I've never gotten there. I still struggle. Like, dude, halftime is so hard. Or like Killsmith.
It's
Like people like it's hard to write
yeah.
stuff like that.
It's
And so
like a lot of like driving synths, and once you have that same sound over and over instead of 80 different sounds you cycle through, it's once that all the attention's on that one sound, it's a lot of pressure. You're like, I got to make it so perfect, especially
yeah, it's
comparing them to them.
yeah, I know. And I almost shouldn't even do that because I mean, if they I know for a fact like Killsmith's got like the barefoot audio monitors and he's got the $2,000 monitors. He's in a spaceship studio. He's been doing it for years. I'm like a little rookie compared to him. I can't compare myself to that. I mean, we all grow from a certain point,
Yeah.
and he's just been doing it longer. You can't compare yourself to people who've been doing it for like 10 years or whatever.
No, you're
But
right. You're right. Yeah. But I mean,
and
hey,
he
it's good to it's good to fucking have the goal, I guess, and especially with knowing that you're at not a disadvantage, but kind of, where either it be time, either it be studio monitor or space or whatever it is. Like it's kind of like motivating knowing that there's room to like get it. And that's what it was watching the super task thing. I'm like, bro, I've had these ideas for so long and they've just been sitting in me. Like, what good are they sitting in me? So now that I thought that nobody was gonna be fucking nobody could do that. You know what I mean? Like unless I
Yeah.
put it out there and then I see that it's out there without me doing it, I'm like, fuck. Like it's my fault. I'm sleeping, so that's more motivation, to fucking just get out there and do it, And I like haven't fucking touched WoW in like 3 days. You know what I mean? Maybe a little bit signed on once it
Maybe,
reset.
maybe a little bit, maybe a
Yeah.
little bit.
Hey, I checked it. I checked it. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, but I seriously like since that super test thing, I've been like, this is I have to fucking get back on my shit because people are gonna be getting it, with or without me.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, no,
So.
I feel the same way now that I've exposed my NFT idea. I gotta like now I'm sitting here thinking like, dude, I got 8 weeks tops before someone beats me to the punch.
You might have to the end of this episode. Stupid Fry man. That man's quick, bro. He's already got the EP done. He's just
Yeah.
waiting on the NFT artwork.
Yeah, he's waiting on the artwork to get back.
The render.
But yeah, no, like I just gotta like, I don't know. I went through like a little bout of just like not being super motivated, and I think the main reason was at the end of last year, like I said, I just got lazy, and then at the beginning of this year, I wasn't growing or anything, and the answer was obvious. It's because I didn't do anything. So like, who's gonna go follow someone who's like dead on social media, right?
Yo, exactly.
But I'm just sitting there looking at myself like, bro, no one followed me this month. Like, it's over. I'm stupid. But
Yeah.
I feel like I'm like re-inspired to do a bunch of stuff. Like from the Electric Hawk release, I've met some new people. I had some people DM me, asked to do some collabs, and I'm excited. It's like I got to get back on my stuff.
Yeah.
Let's go.
No, 100%. I mean, maybe that's what I kind of was waiting for too. But once you see, I guess once you have that finite timeline, that time is like, oh, it's of the essence right now. We have to get on our shit. There is no like, there's no waiting around. Like you said, I was sitting there like, oh, nobody followed me too, but I wasn't doing anything, and then it took,
Yeah.
And then it puts you in a cycle though. It puts you in a weird depression cycle of not doing more things too, because I'm just gonna continue procrastinating, but as soon as I don't know, it was almost like the painful reawakening, and that's what re-inspired me though, and I'm appreciative of all that, like the feeling of like, I gotta get it, because that's what's super inspiring to me, not the like wait for inspiration Eric, like not the I gotta just wait till I'm inspired. No, I gotta be the Mr. Bill kind of inspired, fuck the inspiration, get it, just go out and get it.
Seriously, I mean, like for me, that all goes back to like the hardest thing to do is to start, because like there's so many days where I have no idea what I'm going to do when I touch Ableton. But if I just put 30 minutes or an hour into it, literally, if that's all I dedicate myself to a day, 30 minutes or an hour, a song will come out at some point. Like I'm going to get something out.
Yeah.
Because at some point I'm going to get sucked into, oh, I really like where this is going, and I'll just willingly spend like 6 hours on it.
Yeah, no, 100%, and willingly. That's the best part. When you don't feel like that, like you said, the starting thing. It's like, man, I'm not inspired there, or I can push it off. I got to work on stream things, or nah. You do it, and then the willingness comes. Once you got the momentum started. But,
yeah, and the other thing that's been helping me, dude, is like I've been trying to separate like work from play. So I used to play way too many games on my PC. And then I would sit down here and try to write music, and I was just getting taunted by like, oh, come play GTA, like people on Discord, or like, oh, we're all on this, or we're all playing Warzone, or we're doing this, and I'm just like trying to ignore it, but it's in the back of your head, like, And so I honestly like pulled the old PlayStation out, even though I haven't really been playing it much, and I set it up to where it's like it's hooked up to a TV, and I have to stand up, turn the TV on, do all that, and like push the chair back to be able to see it. And so it's just a whole different thing now. It's like, even though I'm in the same room, I have to do a different process to get started. It's not just like a double click. Like it's not as easy as just like a double click.
Yeah. No, that's a healthy little like mind trick you're playing on yourself, just to make you work a little bit more harder to even think about, do I want to do this right now?
It's like, yeah, do I want to stand up and hook up the plate? Like look, I got the HDMI cord right here, and I make myself plug in the HDMI cord every time, so that way like my procrastinating like lazy ass brain, like sometimes I make myself procrastinate playing video games so I work on music. That's how much I procrastinate.
That's great though.
But I have to understand like that's just who I am. I'm ADD and I'm a procrastinator, and I don't
Wow.
know. You got to realize like and accept who you are, I guess.
Yeah. You don't
To
know who
like,
you like, even if you don't know who you are, but you know what you're not, you know, and you know you're not like super motivated all the time, and that's
oh
maybe
yeah,
the human
definitely.
condition, you know, like
Because when it's easy to not do stuff, you're not going to do it,
yeah. No,
because
exactly.
it's like I've been living at home and I've been trying to find a job and everything, but I got no pressure to like work on music other than what I put on myself. Like no one's like I don't have like a manager, I don't have anybody like knocking on me saying like, bro, when's that next song coming out? You need it, or like you got to have something out so we can promote you to play more shows or whatever.
Yeah.
And so it's like for me right now, it's like it's all self-motivated, and it's like it's easy to get comfortable and fall into a trap. So I actually like this past week, I've been trying to like figure out what I want to do. And I put like a hard deadline on myself. Like I want to be moving to Houston by October.
Oh shit.
So get a fresh start, get out in the real world. So gave
Wow.
myself like 6 months and I'm like,
Yeah.
let's go do it.
I was just doing the mental. I was trying to count. Fucking. I didn't have my fingers though. I didn't want to do it on stream, so I was trying to go like 1, 2, 3. You know, it's
Yeah.
April.
Yeah. Yeah, no, but
Damn.
that was the thing. It was like I want to be signing a lease for that by October, and I want to be like, you know, have a job held down there, and whatever happens in between, like I just got to make it happen. So it's like right now, like
Damn.
I really want to spend money and get a new computer, but it's like I should probably save it because having money in the bank is good no
Yeah.
matter what.
Hey, yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Especially
and
if it's
so
invested in some shit coins that are doing well too, because it's just making more.
yeah, so it's just like hold on to the money for now because I don't know, you might break a leg or something. You're gonna need that one day,
That's true.
and then just I feel like pushing myself to do hard things makes everything go better, if that makes any sense.
Absolutely. Yeah, that the
Because like,
complacency is like that's the death of the motivation, you know? Is once we're fucking good with where we're at, that's we're like, all right,
it,
fuck it. I'll load up WoW or GTA or whatever, you know?
yeah, I'll go burn 6 hours doing that. And not, yeah. I mean, I'm making that money in GTA online though. It's
I'm
like I got
farming
four
that coke.
businesses, I got 6 cars, but like in real life, like I'm broke sitting here in my parents' house. It's like I gotta do something.
Oh shit, yeah.
So,
For
but I mean,
real.
it's a lot of combined issues, like the pandemic, jobs, all that. It's tough on everybody, but it's like at the end, at some point, I don't know. I felt like I got to stand up and say like, here's my deadline. I don't care if I have to work at like some shitty job to make it happen. Like, I got to do it.
Yeah.
And the goal is to like move to a new city and just meet a whole bunch of new people and get a fresh start because I've struggled since day one to like do super well in the music scene in New Orleans.
Mm.
Like, I don't know if it's just like they already know people, or like whatever, but I've always had a hard time communicating with a lot of those people. So I'm just hoping like I can move to a new place, meet some new people, get a fresh start with some releases under my belt to be like, hey, look, I'm coming from somewhere new. I got music out. Let's work together, whatever.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
Houston I feel like is still, relatively up and coming with that. It's not too far away from Austin too, where it's like a pretty established place for music and electronic music too. But Houston is. I think you'd almost be in the same boat too, and you'd, like you said, be a little bit more established. And I felt the same way with New York for some reason. Like, it was just so hard to connect with the scene and the promoters. And, I had a little click too, but then once that dried up and, my manager from then decided he doesn't even want to be a manager, my connection disappeared. And then it's still been like, I don't know, man. That's where I'm home, but I feel like they don't respect you until you make it out of your home. They seen
Yeah.
you when you're right at the beginning, when you have all this stuff to work out, and they might have seen and recognized the potential, but it's like they don't give you respect until you made it outside and you come back, and then they're like, oh, you're from here. And it's like, bro, where was you when I was fucking playing the small show paper box and shit, Like,
Yeah, where were you when I played like that 30-man show like that one time and
yeah.
everyone was like I had a sound like dude, my first show was so bad, bro. It was like a complete disaster, like train car disaster. Like we had
Same.
yeah, like we had like problems with the okay, so the mixer that we plugged our controller into, like the master mixer, was just garbage, and like it only played out of one channel for like half the show. Like it only played out the right side.
Ooh.
And so I mean that's poop, like just straight up. Like that's shit. And then on top of that, we forgot to like turn off my friend's Bluetooth connection on his phone to his laptop. So we're sitting there getting FaceTime calls during our show. And I'm like, bro, tell your girlfriend to shut up. Like I was like I was like, dude, hang up the phone. Like turn your phone off, something. And like, oh dude, it was a disaster. The sound just completely cut out like 4 times. It
Dude.
was like such a disaster. But like looking back on it, it was like I'm almost happy that that happened because like it teaches you some lessons. Like I learned something that night. Like don't don't bother with the club gear and just turn your phone off, I guess, you know?
Yeah, who knows, man? That could have happened, like, when you're playing fucking Red Rocks or some shit. That's when that, if you didn't learn that
Yeah.
now, that's what it would have happened, is when
Or
you're fucking doing Red Rocks, you get a FaceTime from mom or something.
yeah, or like or when I actually get the chance to do a big show, like
Yeah.
say I'm in Houston and I finally talk to that right promoter and he's like, "Oh yeah, man, you're gonna open up for Liquid Stranger tomorrow night," or like whatever. And then you go out there and you play, and that's your one shot to get people to look at you, and then you just botch it.
You know
You
what?
know, it
That happened with Not Low, actually. She's fucking playing Bonnaroo this year, but last year, one of the last shows I played with her, it was me. First of all, I headlined this show, and then Recno under me, and then Not Low. So just to show you what a fucking year can do, you know what I mean? Like, Recno is fucking playing everything under the sun. She's playing
dude,
Bonnaroo, but it was her first show on CDJs too, and someone left like
yeah.
the reverse on or something, like something real simple, and there was like 10 minutes where she like, it was fucked up, like they couldn't find the sound guy, he was fucking drunk or something, like some shit like that.
Yeah.
But now look, like that, that's not gonna happen at Bonnaroo, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, you work all these little kinks out, and that was a pretty big room too. It wasn't like that was in front of 10 fucking people. She did it, it was a lot of people, so that feeling that pressure, you're gonna make damn sure that never happens again. That's like a nightmare material. I literally go to sleep
Oh
and I'm
yeah.
fucking in front of an amphitheater and my computer's not working. You know what I mean? That's like literal nightmare
Yeah.
material that I have.
Yeah, no, I mean like I feel like we all have to go through those growing pains, I guess, as a
Yeah.
musician. Like you got to embarrass yourself a few times, you know?
Yeah. Definitely.
It
More than a
Because I mean,
few. It's pretty much like
yeah,
a whole livelihood of embarrassing yourself. You know what I mean? Like,
you got epic highs and low lows, man.
for
You
real.
know,
It
it's like those
really
best
is.
moments are like insane, but the worst ones are just like, I fucked that
Yeah. You're
up.
like, I look like a douche. Like, I got how many
Yeah.
plays on this song that I thought was like going to be the biggest song ever, like, and then you just reevaluate yourself. You have all these like, oh man, this lows are low, but the highs are definitely worth it. But nightmare material for sure, man.
Yeah, but yeah, no, I'm hoping that like just getting on a move and working on myself over the next few months and just like being like, okay, I'm tired of COVID-19. I'm tired of that rut that I was in of just being unemployed and sitting at home all day. It's like, no, it's like, let's go get it. And here's my deadline. I feel like it's going to help with all aspects of my life, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's like, I want to have like music set up and put out, or I guess ready to go right before I move. So that way, in that transition stage, I'm not worried about writing that much because it's going to be really hard to do that, you know?
Yeah.
I'm
And
sure you understand.
no, 100%. And then
Yeah.
like, but that deadline comes before you know it too, with like how quickly everything's been moving. I've been saying that too, and then the next thing you know, it's fucking October, and I'm like, I was supposed to have an EP now, and it's only halfway done. But at the same time, like, I do feel the give and take with this scene, and the amount that I kind of step back from it, I'm feeling now, like I did take like a year off from releasing. We were on Twitch every fucking day, but in terms of appealing to that audience, I let that down. I let a lot of my social media's kind of like algorithm go down too. So I mean, I now I'm feeling the pressure of it, and having those deadlines, I think, is like super just important too, like which even posts, you know what I mean, like what you want to post on certain days. I'm going back and looking and decompartmentalizing some of my Twitch clips and just being like, you know what, this is like 2 months late, but I'm gonna post this anyway, and just having that ready too, and that's come within the last couple of days too. Even the Electric Hawk takeover, I'm like, it was almost like a beat off for content. You know, like you have 6 hours, you got to make
It's a
as many
little-
stories. Yeah. Just showing some skin. I was doing whatever I got to do to get the views over
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, no, I mean, um, as we go through tonight, like I'm gonna try to like be on Instagram like a little bit, like trying to talk to people. Because I did like I said, like ask me anything sort of thing. Try
Yeah.
to get people to engage.
Nice.
But yeah, like that's super cool that they're letting us do that. They definitely trust us, bro. They trust us with that account.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's awesome of them. But yeah, no,
Are we trustworthy? I don't know.
dude, I mean, we haven't gotten banned by Twitch yet.
Yeah.
I think we've come close a couple times.
I'm not even maturely rated yet, so I don't know. Maybe Twitch hasn't
Really?
got their eye on me. Yeah, no. I haven't even got the hit with the mature only setting.
I, I'm surprised.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, because we go over some risky business
We
over
do.
here.
No narcs in here, though. That's probably what it is. We got some
Oh,
good
yeah.
squad.
Yeah, no, we're narc free squad.
Taking it to the grave, everybody.
But yo, we gotta play some 5M soon. I'm totally down.
Yo, you were asking me today, and I was getting hyped. I was ready to hit up Liz and be like, yo, I think we might have to gather the squad. Get everybody
Dude,
ready.
Maybe this Friday or something.
Ooh.
Get everybody on.
That sounds
Have like
good,
a
bro.
chill day.
That
Friday
sounds
or
good.
Saturday or
Some
something.
5M. Damn. This man's been feeling it. It's like the second or third time you brought up GTA, too.
My friends got me in. Like I tried playing GTA a while back, but I was like basically by myself, and I was trying to play online by myself. Huge mistake, because like people were just like, "Bro, it's so fucking obvious. You got to steal the truck and bring it here. You're so stupid," and they're like just raging on you. You're
It's
like,
power
"Aw."
in numbers there, too, man. You got to have the squad, you know?
Yeah, and then it's exactly because it would be like a squad of 4 people or 3 people, and then me, like the random Phil.
That's it.
And then they're just like, "Oh, look at this dude, 5-star, so stupid. Who the hell are you? 5? It's so stupid, bro." And then they just all clown on you.
Yeah, and you
Yeah,
feel
like-
the pressure. Like at any given moment, they could
Yeah.
just turn around and stick you up. Give me your money, and you're just susceptible to it. What are you going to shoot out with 3 guys? I'm not a shooter,
Yeah,
you know? I'm
And
a
so-
talker. That's it.
yeah. And so like some of my friends from home, they both recently built gaming PCs, and that's honestly kind of why I've been playing a lot of games. Is because like 2 of my old like friends from high school, I finally convinced them to make the switch.
Damn.
So
Well,
we've all been gaming.
I just said I've been getting off gaming. I've been feeling a little remotivated. This man's going to get me downloading 5M again.
No.
We're going to have
You
a
gotta-
family timer on it.
Yeah. Get the parental controls going. We got to have like a 2-hour time limit.
Yeah. Let's see. How much
Get
coke
your
can we
mom.
farm?
I got to get my mom to send me like a recording of her saying, "Okay, James, time for bed. You got school night," and then like have that go off as like my timer alarm.
Oh, shit.
Trigger me back into being like 11 and just like
Damn.
going to sleep.
Wake up for Saturday morning cartoons and shit. It'd be the best.
I know it's a meme, but like, you ever used to hide your DS under your pillow or your Game Boy?
Maybe. I hit a lot of things under there. Yeah.
Like back in the day, like I had my little Game Boy Advance, playing Pokemon, playing whatever, school night.
Yeah.
My mom and dad come in, it just goes snap shut under the pillow, like all in one move, and you're sleeping, and then you can hear the battle theme going, like
Damn. You know what? I had the Game Boy Color though. It didn't snap. It would just be stay
Oh.
under. Yeah. I didn't have the snap one. Damn. Too old for that. But I remember
Just a
actually
few
being
years.
under the covers and kind of doing it. Well, Pokemon
Dude, you
Gold.
remember having to play games without like a backlight, and you gotta like hold it up to the light to see what you're doing.
Bro, they had the lights. They had the attaching little flexible light. That's what I used to have too. They had a little flexible USB light, reading light thing.
Oh, I didn't have one of those.
Oof.
I had the sun, or I had like a lamp. Like I would sit next to a lamp and like tilt the screen until I could like see color.
Kids these days, man, they'll never know.
Dude, they got Fortnite on their phones,
That's
bro. They'll
it.
never know.
That's it. They never know what's good, man. They're producing right now on their phones, making beats better than we'll ever make them. It's ridiculous. Like, Vibe Squad shared a video of Nariah. You know, what is it? Nariah Houston? What's his fucking last name? He's a skateboarder. He's been like, you know him if you've seen him probably. He is
Yeah,
like
look, let me-
the prodigy. Because he's been doing it since he was like a little baby, you know. He's had long dreads, like he was like a little prodigy, and he's like now 20 something. He's probably like around your age, and he's still the prodigy, you know. and
Yeah.
he just posted a line of his yesterday, and I'm like, there's producers. Like, there's kids that are the producer versions of this guy, young prodigies, like that have just grown up with their dad's synths or some shit. Oh, Nija,
Oh,
yeah,
Niger.
Nija. All right, my bad. Nija Houston. All right, I got the last name right, bro. I got the last name right. What was the first name that I said?
You said
Naraya.
Naraya. I mean, that's not far off. It's not that far off. You didn't mess it up that bad.
Oh shit. But yeah, no, he's like a prodigy, been doing it since a kid, and there's definitely producers out here that we're gonna start hearing of that are like 7, 8 years old making some Aphex Twin shit,
Dude, I almost feel like if you start making music at like, okay, it's really interesting because like kids who write electronic music from like a young age, it's almost like they're making music in a vacuum because they can't even go to the shows. So they
True.
don't even know what's coming out. Like, because we all know like the shows are where you go hear all the new stuff, because
Yeah.
everyone's playing the unreleased, they're playing all that. So it's like that's where you go like get inspired and get ideas. So I'm kind of like subconsciously like kind of tainting my brain with like what I think is going to come out, all that stuff.
Of
But then
course.
there are these kids who are 13 who can't even go, who don't know, and they just come up with something on their own.
Yeah.
It's they're making it's like
It,
I actually had this really crazy idea. I was like, dude, what if like I locked myself in her room for like a month, like like a studio apartment type thing, and it's like I black out all the windows, like I can't tell the passage of time, and all I have is like Ableton and like Blender on a computer. Like
yeah.
what would I make? Like what would happen?
Call the EP Solitary or something. It's just like solitary confinement right there, bro. This man's gonna go nuts.
Yeah, but like imagine like okay, part of me is like I'm just gonna sleep through the whole thing. Because like I'm just gonna get so depressed, I'm just gonna sleep through it. Or the other part of me is like you're gonna create something like people haven't even heard before. And
Yeah.
so I don't know, part of me is kind of tempted to do it just like as an experiment, maybe even like put a camera in there and like
Ooh.
live stream the whole thing or something crazy.
You know what? That's actually always kind of what I wanted to do on a smaller scale, though. Like get a like a week and in a cottage or some kind of you hear about that all the time. Like a band does that, and just have like a
Yeah.
squad of people, and we just kind of like go on a retreat and just produce. I mean, we a little fucking around here and there, but like dead ass just. I've been thinking about Canada for some reason. I don't know why. Some like fucking snowy little hut in Canada, and just kind of get away for a week and write a fucking EP or some shit. Like just write a nice piece of music. I don't know if that's what I'm waiting for too for an album, but I
Bro.
just feel like it needs to be like done in a certain amount of time, and I don't know why I'm feeling that with myself, but maybe that's what it needs to be done is just lock yourself up, even if it's for a weekend or something, write as
Look,
many tunes.
I got my vaccine, I got my passport, hit me up.
Damn.
Dude, we could
Let's
we
go.
because I love the mountains, dude. Going out to like Western Canada or something where there's like the tall forests and the mountains. That would be sick
Yeah,
because I'm sure, I mean, dude, who goes out there? I'm sure you could get like a log cabin for like 2 weeks for like $1,000.
that's what I'm saying. You
Split
split
it
between
between
it.
like
Yeah.
2 or 3 people, and we all bring like our laptops and we just sit there and just
Yeah.
like and then at the end we can have like a little party and be like, hey, check out what I did, and we just
Yeah.
show each other what we did.
That's what I'm saying. Or it's like a collaborative thing or something. Like actually
But that
J.
too.
Cole did that too with it wasn't like a retreat, but he did that with I think it was Spillage Village. Um or it was Dreamville, and he just locked like producers, rappers, all in like this giant studio, and they had like 10 different rooms so people could go in and out as they want, and it created some of the best fucking collaborative works. It was like such a dope ass collaborative EP, and all the people who you do like got to work together, and randoms got to work together, and I think that would just be like.
Dude,
A big collaborative clusterfuck of great ideas if we did do some shit
imagine
like that.
imagine there was like 5 or 6 people, and like every day you work with a different person, so you all just like switch off every day, and then at the end you would have like 6 collabs, and then maybe you have like another 2 days or whatever, and we all finish them all up and maybe write one on our own at the very end after you learned everything from everybody else. And it's like it's a full like 12-hour session. Like y'all say like, okay, from like 9 to 9 we're working. Maybe we get a lunch break, but like we're finishing a song today,
Yeah, or video, something. You just get
Yeah.
like creative shit. Even if it's like just a behind the scenes studio video. Like I think it would be super fucking just good for just mental, like to actually be in the same room and work together with people too after such a long time, because I don't even remember what that feels like too, you know. It's been a lot of sending WeTransfer, Dropbox links. So
Yeah,
a nice little retreat would be like just for work. Psh, I think that'd be perfect.
dude, I'm down. We got people in the chat already seem for it.
Yeah. I got a couple 2 3 people ready. Some talking about their iLock licenses being the biggest problem that they're gonna face. So
Bro, leave iLock at home, dude. Don't even try. Go stock. Just suck it up. We gotta go stock this time.
that's what we're doing. Stock
But
plugins.
but no, like that would be super sick. I mean, dude, like even up in somewhere like Utah,
Yeah.
where there's just like giant just desert and there's just like nothing around.
Yeah. Utah could
Or
be hella inspiring, bro.
or because my sister lives like she lives up there and she's like within driving distance of like 9 national parks or something. It's like crazy.
Damn.
And it's like that's so sick. Like and it's like the arches in Utah, like all these places that like especially being from like essentially the swamp, like you never see that. Like dude, they raise crawfish like 10 minutes from my house, bro. Like I live in the fucking swamp. Like, you know, they're growing rice and crawfish out here. So like I don't get to see like the desert and the mountains and all that. So it would be sick.
Yo, hell yeah. Nah, maybe that's the fucking move. We do it in some random place. Maybe go to a park beforehand, drop some acid or some shit, and then fucking go write some music.
Hell yeah, dude. We'll talk about it in 5M.
Yeah, no, hey, fuck it. Hey,
Let's do it.
I'm down. Yeah, no, honestly, or even if it's like a fucking weekend or some shit where, you know, maybe this is what we needed to actually kind of put that out there and maybe get like a prospective date or some shit. Who knows? Or who knows where or when. But I mean, just having it out there it might be good too, just to kind of get that going.
Because like if you had like 7, 8 people and you guys like split up like an 8 bedroom or a 7 bedroom house, it's like it probably wouldn't come out to be that much. Like, you know, especially
No.
if you did it out in the middle of nowhere where there's like not a lot of stuff.
Yeah. And how fruitful that would be just in terms of everybody networking and like having actual like stuff come out of it, you know, content
Yeah.
and shit.
And I mean, it would be sick because it would be like, look, during the workday or whatever, like I guess like it'd be like camp almost, you know? It'd be like, okay, during camp, you put your phones away. Like it would be so true. It's like put your phone away and get like sucked into what we're doing
Yeah.
and like
Hey.
talk to everybody and meet everybody. It'd be sick.
Yeah, no, that'd be pretty fire. So I mean, hey, if we just need to figure out somewhere to do it, if that's our worst, that's our biggest challenge. That's not too bad, you know.
Yo, y'all accept Ethereum? Y'all take Ethereum? Let me know.
Hey, it keeps moving the way it's moving. Fuck yeah, man.
Yeah. Yo, I think we've kept the people waiting. You wanna do some tunes?
Absolutely, bro. I was trying to find a natural way to transition, but you just did it. You just did it real nice. So there's a
Yeah.
couple tunes. Josh Teed actually was the first one before I even announced it. Like a minute into, I think the same minute, he threw a tune in. So he's our first up on the list.
Okay, cool. You want to do a quick little sound test, like play it through?
Yes, sir.
I'll just make sure I can hear it on this end.
Okay. Word.
Yep, I got it. So
Okay.
I'm gonna listen through here.
Okay.
I'm DD tonight.
I'll take it.
Dude, I got like no feedback for that. Can I be honest? That song was super gas.
Yeah, no, that was even like texturally, like there was just it just kept floating in and out of these different places and sounds so fucking organic.
It was on like the best way I can say it was like it was just masterfully written. Like it was just really well done.
Yeah,
Like every part of it was just well executed. And dude, I said it in chat, but like I see this one being played at like a closey set, you know?
ooh,
Like I would totally see her playing something like this. So if you haven't sent it to her, you definitely should.
yeah. She's got a new record label out too, right? She's got
Oh, does she?
I think so. I think they just started one. I could be totally wrong though, but I'm pretty sure she has something that she's like either acquainted with or she just started, and that would probably go fit right on that jungle fucking dub vibe you got going.
It just gives me like you're sitting in a forest at a music fest, like Electric Forest, you know, Closey's playing it out. Everyone's vibing. Everyone's having a good time.
Yeah.
Sort of vibes I get. Like it's just really pretty, man. Nice one.
Oh, it's called Odyssey. All right, yeah, man, that would.
Ooh, okay.
Oof. Not to even pigeonhole things like that, like sounds like a closey vibe kind of thing, but you hit a lot of different just genres too, man. The last one you sent in was with Kyle Goldstein too, so you're hitting the rap, you're hitting the instrumental vibe, you're hitting like the jungle dub, whatever you want to call this one, and all of them are masterfully crafted. I think like what 5 Star said, man.
It's just I got no feedback. It's just really well done. Like I said, I mean, I really look up to Closey, you know, as like a producer. I think she's great, and to compare your music to hers, like that for me, that's like me complimenting you a lot. You know, it's me saying like, hey, it's like it's really well done. You know, can't say it enough.
Yeah. And I think he said this album's set to drop on Gravitas. Oh shit.
Oh, okay.
I thought he said on it. That would have been really ironic if he got it
album.
on Odyssey already. But I mean, hey, Gravitas works too. That's kind of like I think where she got a start from. I think she has a couple things on Gravitas, and that's the same kind of vibe as well. Very IDM, vibe centric.
Yeah, Josh. I mean, you killed it, man. You gotta let us know when the album drops, dude. I want to hear the whole thing. This thing's sick.
Dude, hell yeah. I think he just dropped the one with Kyle Goldstein, too. I don't know if maybe I saw that wrong. But, yeah, he just put it out 5 days ago, too. Let me like that shit. Because I liked it when he played it on the Beat and Greet, my man. So, Josh Teed, as always, bro. Big one. Hardly any fucking... Pretty much nothing to say about it. Maybe, as it was ending, I was thinking, like, yo, maybe it's going to need an outro. But the fade out was perfect. Fade out was perfect.
Maybe he'll mess it up right at the end. Just maybe. So I'll have something to say.
That's literally what I was hoping.
Yeah.
Because then you were like, I got nothing to say. I'm like, shit, I'm going to have to mention that I was, something. I'm going to have to mention something then. But, yeah, I really can't.
Yeah, Josh. I mean, dude, it's sick. I would love to remix one of your tunes.
Oh, hell yeah.
So if you have one you think I'd like to mess around with, feel free to send it, my dude.
Shooting a shot. I love it.
Shoot a shot.
All right, we got Mr. Grayscale over here, too. This dude was fucking killing us in Crunker yesterday. Like,
dude, Grayscale put a cool one out recently, too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, dude, multi-talented, obviously. I knew he was talented in music, but the Crunker shit, he was like MVP, killing us all.
Really?
Oh, dude. It wasn't even fair. It wasn't a game.
Man, okay.
He just came through top the boards. It was ridiculous.
FPS god. PC gaming legend.
Let's see what he's got with the tunes.
Bop thick. All right. Ooh, wait. Is this an optical?
God damn.
Grayscale.
Dude, I just have a quick question. Is this Optics Incognito or is this another person named Optic?
You know
Like
what? Optic
serious
was
question.
commenting though on it. Optic commented twice on it and goes, "What?" And then the other one says, "Sheesh." So I don't know.
Sheesh.
That was probably the more appropriate tone. Sheesh. Damn.
Okay,
Yes, this is a
Optic
collab.
confirms.
Wait. So
He confirms.
he's confirming it, but I'm reading it as you. So you commented on your own track saying "sheesh."
Well, maybe Grayscale. This is Grayscale's like latest version. You know, he sent it back. He got the
Oh,
Optic gets it on the fresh listen.
that's true. You know what? I wouldn't put it past Optic though to say "sheesh" on his own tune. You know, I wouldn't. I mean, that's you got to be
Dude,
your biggest fan. Yeah.
I recognize the sound design, dude. I felt like some of those basses were some Optic sounds.
Ooh, okay.
But, dude, killer track. Only thing I would say is like, I know it's like a whip, but maybe on the some of the vocals, like add some like delays or like reverse delays or something, just to like spice them up, make them feel like they have like a more interesting texture, I guess. But that's it, really. I thought like the way the basses like flowed and how everything like sounded was really cool. Like the way they all like kind of talked with each other.
Yeah, that's a Optic strong point too. You know, Grayscale's really good at that as well. And I mean, Optic is just with my collab from personal experience too. My collab with him too. He sent back something that that it seems like that's why he commented on this too. Was like it's almost like the roles were reversed because when he sent me back the fucking I was used to it, right? He sent me an idea. I was used to it one way, and then I sent him a whole nother part. And then he worked on the first part again and beefed it up. And so that's what I'm assuming that fucking Grayscale did over here too. And
Yeah.
it's nice to know that even Optic gets his mind blown sometimes.
Yeah. But yeah, no, dude, I couldn't imagine two better people to work together, honestly. Y'all are both on that neuro halftime trip hop sort of like feel, you know? Y'all both like mess around in those territories. I feel like this one's going to come out super sick. Like I dig it already, you know?
Very much so. Yeah, it's really dope. The idea is dope, and I do like the vocal sample. I've been throwing like saturator and shit on everything. So, you know, as soon as you said that, that's what I was thinking. I would go around and check out what Thermal's got. See a couple of the Thermal presets and shit. That's been working out good.
Yeah, and
Yeah, but
something that I've been messing around with is like I saw this thing where like you take like a whole like a group, so like maybe all of your basses or all of your vocals or whatever, and you just put like a super thick layer of effects on it, and then maybe um, you turn it down and you just clip out the parts, like you resample it and you just clip out the parts that you want to use, and it provides like really nice background textures because you're using the same like source material. And so you just turn the wet up, like you just basically make like a syn track and you turn it all the way up and then you like record it and then you can like fit it in and like chop it up. So you could use like 6 different delays basically on one channel if you like slice it all together.
oh shit. So
Or
yeah,
you
that's
it's good for like layering and stuff, you know? And I feel
yeah.
like if you did some layering on those vocals, added some cool stuff to them, add some cool effects, maybe threw in some risers here and there, be perfect.
Yeah, I think the if the vocal is the only thing that we're even saying like experiment with, and I mean I was cool with
Yeah.
it too. I liked it. I fucked with it. I think you know I agree with 5 Star could use maybe some variation, some maybe like chopped. I mean Optic, you're good at that with the corpus on the bass and shit like that too. So who knows? Maybe use some of the same effects that you've done on the basses, even in the same project file. Because I don't know, man. It's having some really nice effects on fattening up the basses. I'm interested to see what they would do with your
Oh,
same techniques on vocals.
yeah, I mean that song was a brick. Like the basses sounded super thick and huge, like just how you want them to, you know.
Yeah, yeah, typical Optic shit, bro. I mean, Grayscale too, man. He's always coming through with some thick boys, but Optic definitely. And he mentioned that it was Corpus when I asked him too, like, yo, what the fuck did you do to this bass second round? And he's like, yeah, I guess Corpus and probably some other 2-3 little secret things that he's not sharing. Secret sauce,
Yeah,
big one, man, big one.
yeah,
I like this name too.
Bop.
What do you call in like an artist, what do you call a writer who has a fake name?
Oh, like a pen name? Is that what it's called?
No, it's like it's fuck pen name. Yeah, I don't maybe, but yeah, something like that. It's like you have a fake artist name too. You know, you're releasing some side things through.
So they say on Google it's either a pen name or in French a nom de plume or a pseudonym.
Oh, a pseudonym. That's it. Yeah,
That's what you're thinking of? Okay.
yeah, pseudonym. Bob Thick there, and he types it right as you say it too. Pseudonym.
Yeah, they got a ghostwriter. Optic, who's your ghostwriter? Cat's Manda says y'all got a ghostwriter. It's been grayscale this whole time, hasn't it?
Ooh, shit. Called out.
I'm just playing. No, that
Damn.
was a gas tune though.
Yeah. Beautiful,
All right.
beautiful, man. Look, we got another thick boy coming up too.
Who's this?
From Trip Hazard.
Okay.
Holy. Let's see. This could be their ghostwriter. Pseudonym Trip Hazard.
Ew.
Sheesh. Damn.
Yo, dude, I really like that one. I could tell like it was one of those tunes that like kind of came from the heart, you know what I mean? There was like a lot of like loose rhythms and like I could tell like you kind of put things like where you wanted to put them, you know, all that stuff. It was really really cool. Um I guess the only thing I'd have to say is like there was a point or two where I think maybe if you like cut everything out and you just like had just a second of like reverb space, you know, like a rest, it would just like add a lot, like a big pause, and then like have everything come back in real strong. That would just like seal the deal, you know what I mean? Just like in one or two spots, you know, maybe experiment with that. And that's all I have to say, really.
Yeah. No, that's a perfect bit of advice too, and maybe even just use kind of what you did in the end, that like really beautiful dreamy voice that you're kind of using. Maybe just have everything stripped away besides that, or have that kind of reverbed out, or edit the something that you already have in the background, because you have a lot of cinematic sounds and like tension building kind of things. And yeah, looking for some words of advice for this tune is actually, it's like really, it's tough, you know what I mean, because it's such a, like you said, it's from the heart, and I think that's what it really breathes through, because the sound design technique and advice you might give somebody, you know, like shave something off the top, like, you know, at high end, you know, 4K over, maybe be wary with some of those sounds in the top synth, in that lead synth. It almost made this more of a unique song, having it be that gritty, having it be like a little less fine-tuned and perfect, you know. It was like a real gritty, raw sound.
A little wabi sabi, you know what I mean?
Wabi sabi.
Yeah. You ever heard that before?
No. What is that?
I learned that from King of the Hill. It's like it's like when it's like the episode where Bobby goes Buddhist.
No.
But it's like the idea that there's things are more beautiful when they're imperfect.
Ooh.
You know
what
what
is
I
it
mean?
called? Wabi sabi?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like WABISABI, I think.
I'm gonna write this shit down, bro.
But that's how I felt about this
Wabi-sabi.
tune, was like you said, it might not have been like, at some things you could really sit there with a microscope and look at it and be like, oh, that might not have been like technically perfect here or there, but it's like at the same time it was so genuine that it all worked together, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I wouldn't change much about it at all.
Nah.
I would just say like maybe experiment with like a pause here or there, or cutting everything out and let the voice talk, like Brightside said, and that'd be it, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you're not feeling it, then don't mess with it. If you like how it sounds, don't mess with it. We're just trying to put our 2 cents in, you know?
Yeah, and it's only because we couldn't say anything about Josh Teed too. So I mean, we're like,
Yeah.
we can't just be going through all these and be like, too good, too good. So I
No,
mean,
everyone's killing it tonight so far, honestly.
beautiful stuff, man. That really was a journey, and completely unique. You know, we talked about that kind of shit a lot in the podcast, and just kind of like feeling it. I guess as an artist, you want to kind of separate yourself from the pack, and it's harder said. I mean, it's easier said than done, but this was real nice. Still familiar. You know, you almost know what's coming. But you don't too. So it's nice. It's really nice. Good job stepping like a little bit out of the comfort zone of I think the average listener.
Yeah, that was dope.
Yeah, yes sir, Trip. Thank you, man. All right, so we got Conspiracy, Big Badman over here. He made a fucking Girth Gang song. He made a fucking, you know, Taylor Gang.
Yeah.
Yeah, he made the Girth Gang song. He made a fucking remix.
That's dope.
Might just have to play it just for the fuck of it. But let's see what he submitted today. Liquid VIP.
Liquid.
Is that how you pronounce that? Liquid?
I don't know.
Is that French?
It looks French.
Right?
Liquid.
Liquid.
Liquid. Yeah, I took like French in high school.
It's part of the culture down there, ain't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck it.
My last name's French.
Is it? Forêt?
Yeah, Foray.
Oh, shit. I'm pronouncing the T, huh? Is there a T?
Yeah, there is a T.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Liquid.
Liquid.
Shit, man. So I mean, actually, I did notice one thing right off the bat though, and it was the maybe loudness of the synth in the background. I think it was the first one, the first main synth. I mean, you kind of added some more Reese's and stuff like that in at the end. So and which the volume was there for, but there was like this kind of siren driving Reese bass kind of thing you had going on in the beginning that I feel like could be bumped up a lot more, because there was it kind of fell quietly in the background. I don't know if that was the goal of it, because I know like most of your tunes, your release tunes, they're all bumped up to the max too, so I know you know how to crank shit up too. So if you wanted stuff to be in the main focus, I know you know how to do it too. But I think it was like one of the main parts of the first bass. I think like this siren-y kind of Reese bass that I think if you just throw a glue compressor on there or do whatever you do to fatten shit up, it would make that first one hit a little bit heavier, I think.
Yeah. And I heard that too a little bit. And the only other thing I'd add would be like in the mid section between the two drops, I would maybe add like some more effects and some more stuff just to like hype it up. You know what I mean? Like hype up the next drop a little bit more.
That's true. That's true.
That's really all I have to say.
Like some vocal effects or something, or like what would you kind of use to break up some things?
Something I like to do is I like to drop things down and then build them back up. So like I'll add like a big sub drop. So like I'll pitch bend a sub to make it go like woo, you know, and I'll add like an impact and kind of break everything down to almost nothing. And that makes the contrast between like the low and the high like so much greater. So it's like I like to do that a lot. And in a lot of my songs I do that on my build-ups where I have like these big long build-ups. And not every single song needs that, but that's something to think about, is like adding like a sweeping motion that goes down, and then like halfway through that breakdown section, like really intensifying it and trying to build it back up. Maybe pitch bending the drums too, you know, can help.
Ooh.
Like a snare.
Yeah.
Or pitch bending the vocals up. Like you had a mid bass that played through that section. Maybe like filtering it in and out, you know, could be cool too. Stuff like that.
Yeah, just a little bit of movement in terms of those kind of things.
Yeah, just a little spice, you know what I mean, on some of this stuff in there. And that would just add like all the excitement that you're looking for. And if you just add like one small thing to like all or most every part in that section, it'll like all add together to make something like really cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's a good piece of advice, because I think he had most of the elements in there. I don't think it needed anything like from outside. I think it's just certain things that you had could be beefed up, but you said they were he said subliminal. So I mean, that's if it was a stylistic choice, then hey, by all means keep doing what you're doing. It was just like I think I was just looking for a big driving respace or something, you know, like it was maybe to the fault of my own, not in any way yours, but maybe that's just what I would do, is just beef it up, you know. That's just
Yeah, and I
naturally.
mean, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we're just tossing some ideas out there.
Yeah, no,
So,
definitely, man. It was a dope
but
tune.
I
Yeah,
liked it a lot. I liked the flow. It definitely gave me those liquid vibes.
liquid.
Flowed like water.
Yeah, UKF, early UKF vibes too, especially towards the end. There was like, some more thicker, less subliminal basses, and maybe what you could do instead is act, because like it kind of at the end it was like a blend of the two. So you used like these heavier, louder basses and still had that lower driving bass from the first one too. So maybe what you could do with those newer basses is keep them at that same volume, keep them very low or reverb them out, and have it kind of just like everything be subliminal, all the lead basses be subliminal. But maybe you did try that. Maybe if I heard that, I wouldn't like that either, if everything was just super low. But yeah, like you said, we're just spitballing ideas here. And I just a nice driving respace, ooh, especially in a D&B track. We love that shit, bro. But good shit, man.
Yeah,
UKF vibes for
100%.
sure. Is that the UKF drum and bass one? Is that what the yellow one was?
It sure looks familiar. I'll tell you what, it sure looks familiar.
Oh shit, we got the
Dude,
heavy hitter Sky Suite up next though.
Ooh, okay.
Dude, this
Okay.
been thick boys on thick boys. Look at all these waveforms, man, from the past couple songs. It's just been all
Sheesh.
right. thick,
Them forms, bro.
and then we got optic, thick.
Sheesh.
All right, let's see. Sky Suite.
Into infinity.
was right, y'all. That one was crazy.
Crazy. I mean, it's just
Dude,
it didn't stop like transitioning to different kind of things, you know?
dude, it felt almost like a section out of a mix,
Yeah.
It felt almost like a chunk out of a DJ set. It was super
That's a good way
sick.
to put it.
Um, I love it when people write tunes like that kind of capture what it's like going to a live show. And
Ooh.
it's, like less about writing a song that's easy to transition, more about doing something that's feels a little more organic, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, like
So,
cuz all I would say maybe is like stylistic choices, not even technical things at this point, and maybe me saying that would kind of get rid of some of the magic of what made it like what you just said, kind of different and like more of like a live set because I like the vocals in the beginning. That kind of really like hooked me in, and then that was the last time we heard of them too. So I think if I produced it, the vocals would be somewhere else in the like second and third part of the tune, sprinkled in there somewhere or something. But maybe that's would ruin actually what Five Star just said too. So maybe it would win some people over and actually uh, lose some people. So maybe it's it's a battle you don't even want to start doing and sprinkling that part in there. But I don't know if you have the rights to that vocal or what that was, but that was awesome too, man. That was a good way to start it. Maybe you could throw that back in there through the second drop too, like right in that break. But the cinematic kind of tension that you built was that was real dope, man. And it speaks for it. And the sound design always speaks for itself, man. Sound design always speaks for itself with you.
yeah,
So
no, the sound design was insane, dude. Like, I really liked what you did with like the rhythms on the basses. They kind of had like a real like free flowing sort of vibe to them. Like they were kind of almost like polyrhythmic, you know? Really, really sick.
yeah, he has a
I couldn't
good.
tell if you have some like fivelets or something in there, like some complex rhythms, but they were really cool.
He does a good job of blending a bunch of different basses. You know, the sound design from him is
Yeah.
always very good, whether it's like one driving bass or a couple of them mixed in together. You know, and some people kind of shoot themselves in the foot and it gets a little too over complex and there's too many sounds, but you always make it easy to kind of like just grasp onto. And I think the vocals really help too, right there. That's why I was kind of like I was waiting for it to come back in, but
Kind of
the
like
fact
pull you
that you
back,
didn't,
kind of
yeah.
pull you back from like the craziness.
Oof. I mean, like if I would maybe I would loop it back if I was to drop it live or something. Like it kind of be weird. So now that the song is like that, I might change it up for the live setting too. Since he kind of emulated a live, I would have to change it up and make it a remix too. I mean, I don't know. That's just what
Yeah.
find things that I like about a tune and repeat them or something. So maybe it's good that you leave it as is and just let us kind of play how we would play it because that's what we do as DJs too, I guess. And you just stay taste making, Mr. Sky
Yeah.
Sweet.
Well, before we hop on to the next one, I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick.
Do you,
I'll be
brother?
like
Do
minute
you?
and a half, 2 minutes.
Yeah, this one's probably gonna make you shit yourself, man. It's oh, it's not Optic. I thought it was Optic real quick. It's Dendroid, but probably shit yourself. But okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Take your
can't do
time,
that
man.
on stream. But then again, no one would know except me.
Oh shit. So, Sky Sweet, yeah, yeah, dude, great fucking tune. You always do a good job of the in your face basses, brother. So it's nice to get some like cinematic, groundbreaking shit from you too. That was real nice. And what were those vocals, man? Like, I'd really love to know what kind of processing went on them or where you got them from too, because that was really sick. This is a collab with Dendroid and I. No way. I thought I opened an Optic link. I thought this was the Optic link I opened. Okay, so I wasn't wrong. Track 80. Oh, and it's marked like a fucking Optic tune. Look at this. Look at this. Track 84. Oh god, I should have known just by the way it's labeled. Splice vocals with the Ahi rap vocalizer. Oh shit. Yo, that's really dope, man. So maybe it's good that you didn't fucking make that a main focus of the tune. You just left it in there and then just kept going on your own merit, brother. Good shit. Yo, seriously, thank you. Thank you, everyone who submitted. The tunes have been absolutely insane. Big ones. Nobody needs any goddamn input from us. You guys are killing it. But thank you. We want to hear him. 5-Star wants to hear him. And yo, big love to Carl for the 10 bits. JML for the sub. My man resubscribed. I appreciate that, JML. We got Lady Dub with 100 bits. And Phosphor with the raid too, bro. I didn't say thank you for that. Thank you, boss man. So, we got the man, the myth, the legend back. Fresh.
We back and we relaxed.
Back and relaxed.
Oh, yeah.
All right, and it actually turned out to be a Optic collab. It's an Optic collab with him and Dendroid. Track 84.
Okay.
I should have known just by the way it's labeled, right? Look at it, 84. Yeah. Who's that guy? All right, let's start off with it. Let's see what this brick has got. And Lady Dub with the gifted sub. Thank you. Thank you so much. Bada bing, bada boom. Let's see if this Optic track's gonna be a gift to all of us.
That one was, it like took you, that's the kind of song to take you to a different dimension, you know?
Yeah. Oof.
Yeah.
Which dimension?
I don't know.
Far
hanging
away?
hanging out with the machine elves or something.
Like the 5th or 6th dimension. I don't know what kind of shit you blasted us into.
Yeah.
Dendroid usually does that.
It's like those like smooth background synths. It's like, I don't know. I could never make music like this because like, I don't know, dude. Like, I just don't know how. Like, it's like, but I think it's so cool how you have like these like almost like super gangsta vibes, you know? But then at the same time, it's like we're space gangsters and we're just vibing.
Ooh. Very wet too, like if the space had water, you know? If the space
like,
had like lakes or something.
Like we're pimp walking on the rings of Saturn sort of thing.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
I like that. That's pretty good way to describe it too, man.
Yeah.
If a song could take you there on the rings of Saturn, I think it's done its job very well.
Yeah, no, I thought it was dope. Like I wouldn't change anything about that one.
Yeah, me neither. Dendroid usually puts us in the jacuzzi for the trips, man. He usually is fucking bringing us with these crazy, like, wet, tipper-esque kind of synths and like, call and response type bass tunes. And that's the second tune we've heard from Optic, too, man. So, you could kind of tell where some of the technicality comes from, some of the kind of, like, it's never stagnant. You know what I mean? With an Optic tune, that's like what he's really good at too. Every 4 bars or 2 bars, like it's always changing. So
Yeah.
the two of you combined, man, that was really dope. I don't know if you guys settled on one person does one thing or one drop, and you said Dendroid snapped on the second half too, but I definitely heard a little bit of you in there too. So I don't know, man. It was a really good combination of sounds, and not one that I expected either. Grayscale and Optic, that made sense right off the bat, right?
Yeah.
But this one is like a nice blend of the two styles. You guys really drove it home too.
Yeah, I was a big fan of that one.
Yeah, yeah. The mastering is looking thick and nice too, man. So
I wouldn't push it any harder either because like I don't really think it needs it, in the first half.
yeah.
It's not like the kind of song that needs to be like breaking sound systems.
No. And it
just
did.
needs to be.
I didn't even notice it. Like, just visually, it looked like that second half was thicker, but the first half sounded just as dynamic.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, man, that was poof, crazy one. Moonwalk. And look, even it kind of looks like the rings of Saturn. I think, right? Like some kind of rings you'd be walking along, pimp walking along.
Yeah.
A big
Just
one.
kind of fall into the spiral.
Trippy, bro. That was crazy. Good shit, Optic, and
Yeah.
Dendroid.
Yeah, that was awesome.
We got
We
Mr.
got Stupid Fried up next.
Yes, sir. Couple 2-tree left, if that's cool with you. Izzo,
Yeah.
Jamel,
It
Lita
looks like
got
we got
one.
some. We got some that are like doubles. So like if we did Stupid Fried, JML, Lita, Sumo.
Sumo and Walker.
Yeah.
Okay, that works.
Oh, I told Tyler he could send one in too.
Oh, okay.
So
All right.
we'll end
hey.
on Tyler. If you're cool with that.
Yeah, no, if that's cool with you, man, that's I'm down. I'm down.
All right. I got some snacks. I got some water.
All
I'm good.
right, let's get it going. Let's hear these. They've been gas all night. So if we just keep having to not give anybody any sort of advice, then we're good.
I
We'll
know.
just speed through them.
It's just like, man, y'all are killing it. I mean, I got nothing to say.
My speakers are off. I'm up already now. I'm kidding. Shit, let's hear what Mr. Stupefried's got though. He's got the cake for us.
Starting off smooth. Yo,
Stupid
I
fried.
I really really like that transition halfway through. That
Yeah.
was cool.
Yeah. That kind of, I don't want to say it like saved the track too, but I would have had more things like to say advice wise if the whole tune or the bass was like the first part, because it definitely switched it up right when you not needed a freshen up, but kind of
Like
needed to get
where your ears wanted one, you
yeah,
know?
yeah, when you wanted to get refocused. I don't know,
Yeah.
my attention span is very very low too, so it's you almost need to keep reminding people, and that's what I do in my music too. I guess why I switch it up and why I get so bored of things so quickly is because I'm like, oh, this part needs to be changed and then this part needs to be changed. But I think if all people are doing is listen to it once or twice or three times a day, then it can be, you deserve a little slack. It doesn't need to be fucking changed every single bar, and
Yeah.
you do a good job of that, Stupid Fred.
I would say like the only thing I would think to do would be like maybe halfway through that first drop, like you have like these basses that play on eighth notes where it's like wom 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 wom, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe like if every four notes you use like a slightly different texture on the bass, like you don't have to change the notes or anything. You just change like the noise layering or you change like the FM just a little bit.
Ooh.
Like that sort of thing could like really spice it up in
Ooh.
that part, you know?
Yeah.
And it kind of flows with like the phrasing where it's like 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 and then does something else.
Yeah.
It
No.
would like it would be cool if you did kind of like a bum 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 bum
Ooh.
bum 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 bum, something like that.
Yeah. I like the info you've been given. It's more of like use what you got and just kind of maybe a little bit of variation, and instead of
Yeah,
reinventing the whole wheel, which I think could be very counterintuitive.
that's kind of how I produce. Is like I just honestly, like a good example of that is that song that I did, "Hot." Like that was made with the single. Like every bass sound in that song was made with a snare click.
Oh shit.
And all I did was like put it in trash and like a bunch of effects, and then I just made like 10 different sounds, or and then I chopped them all up and like messed with the warping and everything. And so it's like, but it all came together into like that crazy song. So it's like 99% of the time you just kind of have to like change up what you have a little bit.
Yeah.
You don't have to like think too hard about it and introduce something new. It's like literally just turn one knob most of the time.
Yeah, there's a reason we put these things in the song to begin with, and then once you
Yeah.
overwork it, it's because we get bored of hearing it, and then we're not taking into account that this is the first time that a lot of people are, and the only time that some people are going to be listening to it for a whole day and not 500 times in one little sitting like we are, and we don't need to
Right.
change every which little thing that we started with, we start with not shit anyway. You know what I mean? So like to change it all the time would be, like I said, counterintuitive. But there is a nice little, way to freshen up your ear. And I think you said it in one of the other tunes that silence is really good too. Just breaking it up. And I think just mastering wise, this one could use a little bit of beefing up too. Because the drop comes in and visually you can't even really tell where until the second drop. Maybe in this the first drop you have snare transients that are kind of just throughout the whole song hitting the same kind of level, where I think it could benefit a little bit from the same thing, maybe a little bit of variety in velocity or
Something
something like that.
something I realized is like when you have transients that sometimes can be like different levels like that. It could be from like I just realized this like last week, but it's from probably the fact that you're layering cymbals directly on top of your drums, and like
Ooh.
different cymbals are stacking, like they're transient stacking with like your snare. So it's like every other time it's like a high and then a low transient, and you keep compressing your snare, and you're like, why doesn't it look or sound that much better? Keeps clipping, whatever. It's usually the fact that it's like your cymbals directly overlapping, and what you need to do is like you just need to go on the pre-delay and move one over just a little bit.
Ooh. Okay. All right. So they're not exactly the same second, because like the
Right.
chances of that happening even in real life is like virtually none. There's a little bit of delay, even if it's not right on the same, or it sounds like the same kind of fucking hit. You're hitting the hi hat and the snare maybe at like a little bit of a delay.
Yeah, and it helps it feel like a little groovier and more realistic, like you're saying. But also like it's just easy to drop stuff on the grid because we're on the computer, right? And
Yeah.
so with like the way waves work and how they stack, it's like it can really mess you up. And I feel like if that was like a big like I guess realization I had the other day where it's like, whoa, transients are like a super big deal,
Yeah,
you
definitely.
know?
Especially when it comes to that master and making that last little bit that much easier, and just sidestepping all those little fucking headaches that you're gonna have and the
Yeah,
fucking
like
yeah.
literally having space and making sure that transients don't stack is like it improved my mix downs like 10 times just in the past like 2 weeks. Like it's crazy.
Think of how simple it is too. It's just literally a delay, It's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, it takes like 2 seconds and it seems so obvious, but like you don't think about it unless you like really either sit there and think about it or like have someone mention it to you.
Yeah, not for real. And then it changes your whole game, man. So, hey,
Yeah.
that's some words to live by. So I don't know if that's what it is, some snare and hat transient kind of stacking, but there's something that could use a little bit of velocity, kind of randomness within the whole thing, whether it be just in the intro and then the drop have it be a little bit louder. But just visually, that's what I'm seeing. So I mean, a little bit of beef and some snare changing is what I'm thinking for that one, my man. But we got Jam L over here. If you want to check out what he's got,
Yo,
Metamorphosis.
yeah, JML, real quick. If you're in here, Metamorphosis or Mind Move Your Mind VIP, which one?
Oh, true. Yeah, yeah. He sent in two. Do you want to pick one?
Let's give him like 10 seconds.
You want to pick one? Yeah, well, I was going to go with Metamorphosis since it's the first one, but hey, your choice, bud. Or what about you? What are you thinking?
I'm kind of thinking Metamorphosis too, because
Okay.
Move Your Mind, it's like it's a VIP, so it's like
Ooh,
it's not true. It's like a remix.
that's true. So let's hear the OG. Let's hear the OG in the playlist,
Yeah.
The Vault.
The new original.
All right, let's hear it. Pipe bomb.
Completing metamorphosis as we emerge from the chrysalis. Completing metamorphosis as we emerge from the chrysalis.
Ooh.
as we emerge from the chrysalis. Completing metamorphosis as we emerge from the chrysalis.
Dude. That one was sick too. That was just like a deep dub anthem.
Yeah.
Like, I noticed in the chat, JML said needs some progression still, but I mean, I don't know. I don't really think it needs very much. Like, if you maybe changed like one sound out in the second drop just to give it a little bit of variety, that'd be it. I'd say, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. The only time that I thought it might need progression was the end, like you said, like right at the last maybe 20 seconds, and it wasn't even from the bass or anything. The only thing I would have personally added was like some drum fills or something. Particularly the snare, not even the kick. I think you did a good job of keeping the kick having a nice different little flow, but the snare, maybe you could just do a little variety through it towards the end, or have some tom fills or something. But everything else on the tune was fucking fantastic. The sound design was so crystal clear, and like the way it transitioned from fucking Spice Girls to that weird metamorphosis, like was something about Christmas. What did it say? Metamorphosis. Some shit that like it was really naturally flowed, you know. It didn't sound like you threw anything in there and like kind of forced it. It all sounded very organic.
Yeah, I love the work of like the delays that you had in there too. Like, it all sounded like it was just like ginormous, you know, because of all the delays.
Yeah,
Like, that would sound sick on a sound system.
exactly. And like when I was thinking, oh, maybe it needs a little bit of variety, you would cut out the drum and the snare, and then it kind of like reset, you know. That's usually my advice too, is, you know, have a little bit of breathing room in there. You don't want to hit people in the face nonstop for like 30 seconds straight, you know. You want a little bit of reverbed out, no drums or no bass kind of thing, so that when it comes back in, it's harder. And you did that really well too, man. So dope shit. That was a big one. I'm glad we picked Metamorphosis.
Yeah, I'd say for JML, he said he likes overcomplicating things. I would just say, like, dude, like, challenge yourself to only touch one thing in the track.
Yeah, I don't think that track needs much else. There's maybe a little in the last 20 seconds. That's the only time that I was like, you know what, it could maybe use some snare variety here, or a fill, or some kind of like big AT-aliens like toms. You know how they do like a big dun 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 or something like that. You know, so I don't know. I think just very, very minute changes would help this one really sound fully polished. But it's like 98% there, 95% there, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
We got fucking Lita up next too, so let's see what she's got. She's got a little brick. It's a little brick. Okay, all right. Okay, big brick.
Don't leave us hanging.
Hey, yeah.
Cliffhanger ending.
Brand new one. Brand new one.
Yeah, no. In terms of like an intro, that was super cool. Only thing I'd have to say is like maybe for the first 8 bars or something, maybe just like cut out the kick and snare. Like let it build from nothing. That's
Yeah.
it.
No, I think that's a trope of like this kind of tunes. It's like it's like progressive. It's like prog rock or something. Like, it starts off with like bare minimum and then slowly grows into something. And
Yeah.
I found myself working backwards a lot with this kind of music. Is like I'd craft out the dub side, which kind of, this is what it seems like. You made the whole idea, and now is like you slowly like strip it away and kind of just create an intro out of like the elements that you already got. And I think what he said is perfect. You either phase it in or out with the EQ, or just not even have it the first couple bars. But it sounds more of like an idea, and I think that's it. I'll be like a little bit less critical of like what you should do technically, because there was some good there was definitely some good idea out there too, so hearing it compared to like a fully fleshed out journey of a tune, I think that those are a little bit easier to critique, because this one I hear the potential, so I don't want to fucking say anything and have you totally switch up your line of your workflow too, because I like what you're doing with this right now too. So I don't know if you're planning on making a second drop, doing something different with that, but maybe mixing wise, I would say could use like spacing. It could atmosphere, if you want to do something with that, like you have these toms kind of going on in the background. And I think you could center those a little bit more too, because it's taken up a little bit of the bass spectrum. These really like low end kind of like theatrical tom drums that you got. Maybe if you just want to put a utility on that and bass mono that might help, and space out the other kind of things, the higher ends of you have like another airy synth, sounds like a drone or something. Maybe you want to do the opposite. Instead of like mono it, you want to space it out a little bit more, so that'll drive in the bass and space out all these other elements too that you got.
Yeah, I'd say just make sure, like, especially since you're just starting out, like all I'd really worry about is like EQ and like volume, and just trusting your ears on that,
Yeah.
And then just trying to make sure, kind of like what Brightside was just saying, like things aren't stacking too much. And kind of like what I was saying earlier with like putting things directly on top of each other. Like that's not always like sometimes like too much going on is like worse than having like less,
Yeah.
So you kind of have to like practice restraint in some ways, and figuring out like our ears can only process like one sound at a time, like at any given second. So it's like, what's your focus at like every single second of the song? Like, what do you want people to hear?
Ooh, yeah.
And that's like, I feel like that might be like the biggest thing.
Definitely.
So those are like the main ideas. I would just worry about volume and EQ, and then as you get better and you learn more and more, worry about the other stuff. Don't worry too much about like all the crazy compression or delays or any of that. Like that's kind of just noise in the room at first.
Yeah, no, that's great advice too, and that's kind of why I was like hesitant to even bring up some of the spacing things, and just say, I don't want to overcomplicate what you're doing right now and give you mix down advice when you're in the middle of producing the song too, because that, like he said, overcomplicates things, and you wind up not producing anything, because then you're going to be stuck with you're going to stuck with the exact same loop that you started with, just a little bit more fine-tuned. So
if I could go back in time and do something different, I wish I was easier on myself when I first started, because I'd finished more music and I probably would have gotten better faster.
Ooh, that's definitely some great advice too, yo. Well, she's been pumping it out too, and I mean, if it's just a little bit of mix down advice, brother, that's really nothing too crazy.
You're doing really good on like figuring out like arrangement and like how to bring things in and like build things up. Like not just on this tune, but like I've been watching the streams over the past few weeks, and you've been sending stuff in. You've been doing good. Like keep it up.
Yeah. No, definitely. Like he said, yes, the critical thing, I think that maybe is where I kind of learned that later. I think I was overconfident in the beginning, and now I'm too critical, and now I overthink things, and just like got a little bit of think that there's eyes on me, and now that makes me more nervous too. There's pressure. So I don't know, I don't know what you work better under, but there's two sides to that coin too. So figure out which one it is, I guess, and lean into it, because that's definitely something that I miss, and I think I'm going back to slowly, is just kind of being a little bit more free-spirited and less taking it seriously.
It's kind of full circle. It's like you start out and you think you're awesome, and then you realize you're not that good. Then you go through this huge like existential crisis, and then you realize like you just shouldn't care that much and put out whatever you want. And then like you go through the cycle again, probably like 4 or 5 more times.
Yep. Always just seeking validation from like everybody but us, I guess,
Yeah. So at the end of the day, and I don't even follow this advice, but I'm going to try to, is just like put out what you think sounds good.
Yeah. No, hell yeah. And that sounded fun, and it really is all about, I was listening to Timbaland today, and I'm like, there's 3 or 4 elements in this whole song, and it sounds fucking fantastic. And I think that's what we need to get back to, is just making 3 or 4 strong ass elements in each song, Stop
like your main ideas are just like on point.
Yeah. For real. And his Missy songs were just like three fucking things, I'm like, all right.
Like he wins a Grammy on 3 tracks.
Oof, I'll do it. Yeah, for real.
It's like I'm thinking 50. Way too hard.
For real, man. Hey, man, that's I guess that's the plague. That's what we all gotta face.
Yeah.
The curse that we all gotta face. But let's see what Skinny Sumo's got.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, I like that he added a PH. And like it's like a PH for fat, but he added it with skinny. So it's like PS.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's skinny,
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Okay. A trap tune too. Okay, I'm excited.
God damn.
Yeah, that was a
Yeah.
vibe, dude.
Yo, for real.
I
Vibe and
really
a half.
liked I really like the synths, like the chords that you had going on in the back, you know?
Yeah.
Like real nice and chill. And I like the switch up that you had in the second half where you brought in like that high end bass, you know, like that ringy sort of bass that comes in.
Yeah.
That's super cool. I'd say if I had to criticize any one point, or I guess it wouldn't even be a criticism, it would be just more like I think this would enhance the song. It would be like on some of the hi-hats, maybe like swap them out for like a shaker or something at the beginning of a phrase every like
Ooh.
2 or 4 bars. So it's like you have the hi-hat groove going and then like, you know, it cuts out and you have just the hats playing. It's like cut those out and put in like a shaker. So it's like,
Ooh. I
and just
like
like,
that.
yeah, kind of twists, it's a little twist on the beat, you know?
It'll go with this type of like, it's got a dance hall. I don't want to say like dance hall or something, but it's got a very like footwork. That's the word that I'm
Yeah,
looking for. Like
Chicago
juke.
footwork.
Yeah, it's got
Sort
such
of
a
vibe.
like a uppity vibe. A shaker is like it belongs in there. You know, that's that type of music. It'll like even kind of feel like faster up the BPM. So maybe it could be something you use to like kind of increase the tension into like the drop into the second half or into you know, like a downshifter or something like that too. But damn, bro, I loved the fucking drop of that. I mean, the whole tune I really loved, but the drop I think was pretty fucking perfect in my eyes. So what I would say in terms of advice would be just like beefing the rest of this up. You know, it was kind of low, and I don't know if it was low over here too, or you automated a little bit higher. So where those like chimes and like really nice organic sounding instruments came in, it sounded loud enough, but visually the intro and that second build is kind of just a little bit not as thick as it should be, you know. I think it could just be beefed up a little bit more. And I don't know what transients are hitting the ceiling, but it looks like maybe the kick. So I think the whole tune could maybe benefit just from a little bit beefing, you know. So I think it's out. That's why I'm saying that, because it started playing automatically into a next tune. So I don't know if you're looking to go back and fix this one or what, but maybe just a little bit of mastering, and that might actually get some more people to play it out too. Because dude, as soon as I heard this, I'm like, I want to download this. So mastering might be the biggest hurdle you got to jump through next, you know, especially to get people to play it out, or you'd play in and out next to other tunes and other mastered tunes and stuff. But yeah, man, I would just say playability now. Work on that, because I want to play this one out. But we're getting... Oh, sorry.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say one last thing.
Yeah.
Thing, I would consider like on the next one, maybe doing the intro just a little bit shorter, because I feel like on like tracks like this, like these like trap sort of tracks, they almost benefit from just like getting to the point as soon as possible. You know?
Yeah.
Like you want to hear that first 808 come in like within like 4 or 8 bars, because believe it or not, like people's attention spans are just like not present, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's like you want to hook them to listen to the whole thing like right away. And I feel like this sort of genre, especially, like people are dropping it just like within 4 bars. It's just like boom, like here's the drop.
Yeah. Give them
And
a little
so-
taste of what it is.
Yeah, or even if it's just like a mini drop, or like it's a tease of the drop, it's like the 808 almost comes in like right away. So I would just like maybe think about that, because it would hook people, you know, they'd get excited to listen to the whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely, man. I was, you know, as soon as that drop hit, I was fucking excited to listen to it too. So, I
Yeah.
mean, just getting people, I guess, past the first 25, 30 seconds, which weren't bad at all. It's not like it was a chore to get past it. It's just, you know, attention span. This is definitely something music producers start to think about too. Once you get on Spotify and shit, you're like, fuck. You know?
It's really just the fact that the intro repeated. That's all. Is because it's like you don't want to have any sort of like redundancy in your music most of the time.
Okay. So a little 808 or like bass impact or something like that.
Yeah, just like bring it right in, because like if you repeat stuff, it's crazy to think about, but like you want to hook people right away in today's age, because they can just hit skip, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's like you want to just suck them right in, or else like you might lose them.
Yeah. You heard him.
So-
Start sucking them right in. Sucking them right
Hey,
in.
we got the beat off tomorrow to practice.
Oh shit, man. So we got Walker Hill, another beat off vet too, man. We've been getting all these
Okay.
people who we see them when they're 30 minutes, we see them when they're when shit's released. So it's been a nice little
Dude, this one's a brick.
yeah, no, huge, bro. Holy.
Oh wow.
Let's see what he's got. Let's see this.
I
Jesus.
need to go hide all my waveforms.
Lower. I'm gonna lower my volume a little bit just in case. All right, let's see what he's got.
So no one take it personal. Not about done. You think me confident. All me have to do is send to the new gun. Ten. Just fly on. Just let. So no one take it personal. On the mercy.
Kill them.
So I can't really comment too much on the mix downs because I'm hearing it like played back in mono, I think. But I will say that I really like the arrangement on that one, and I felt like all the sounds like worked really well together. I
Yeah.
thought that track like was a really cool like deep dubstep sort of like throwback sort of tune, you know?
Yo, definitely. And you know what I like? I don't know, maybe it's something that you even heard in mono, but it is something that I was noticing too. I don't know if your basses are in mono. I think they should be if they're not, or a little bit more of the bass should be in mono. If you have it already, maybe 90 hertz, maybe it should be up to like 120. And what you could do is do the opposite with, because it sounds like that bass is very full spectrumed. It's like the top end, the low end, and the mid. So, it was at 120. Oh, okay, all right. So maybe what you could do is space out the top end, then do like the opposite what you were doing with the bottom and with the top. So like just space it out as far as you can and kind of maybe automate the way it's spaced too, so it kind of sounds like it's a little bit of movement in the top end. Because it was you had probably some like notch filters or something moving around in there too. Like I noticed a little bit of like probably EQ automation moving things around and making it not seem stagnant at any time. But I think it could benefit maybe a little bit more from maybe even just volume automation of those kind of things too. You know, like if the high end kind of maybe duck out a little bit and bring back up, and kind of have some automation that way too, because just visually it was a big brick too. So I thought it was going to be the first drop or a drop the whole time, but you kind of faded it nicely, and it just ended up being sub bass. So I think you're pushing the sub bass up to right where it needs to be, you know, just based off of even where the break looked. The break was a brick too. If you look at this one, you can't tell where the break starts, where the you know, the drop ends. So the sub bass is pushed up as nice as it could go. I'm thinking the snare around the second part might be right around here is when I started noticing it, like 218. I think the snare might be a little over compressed. I think you're pushing it a little bit beyond. So it either needs to get lowered right up to where the right up to where the sub is, or the compressor needs to come down a little bit too, because I think it's cutting off some of the impact of the snare being so compressed, you know. Like there's no transients in there, you know. You got rid of all the snare transients right here. So if you were to compress like this, you know, the snares are 4 or 5 decibels above the rest, so it's going to cut off some of the headroom, some of that healthy headroom. That's just what I noticed though. So technically it's just mixed down shit, you know. But
I agree. I mean, other than like a couple things with the mix down, I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, definitely, like you said, throwback fucking dub vibes. And you know, I just went right back into the technical shit because it was right on my mind as soon as it ended. I'm like, I think this is what's going on, is that it might be a little over compressed or something with the snare, and it's kind of cutting off some of the healthy dynamics that you want in there, cutting through. What you maybe can do is just if you have a compressor in there for the snare, if your bass is reacting to the snare and cutting off some, maybe just crank that down a little bit more. Have it just punch through either a 10 milliseconds before. You could do a look ahead option at the bottom. That'll help. Or just crank that threshold down a little bit more.
Another thing is, like, if you're using like multiband dynamics, you might want to make sure, or like an OTT on stuff, especially like drums, you might want to make sure that it's not compressing for RMS and then it's compressing for the peak.
Ooh.
Because if you compress for the RMS, it's going to compress like the average loudness. So it might completely miss the peak and then beef the whole thing up. So you just get like these bricks, you know. Ooh. And you might not want that for like a snare.
No, that's perfect. That's like what you want to do when you beef things up, not really for compression and you know, cutting things out.
Yeah, and a lot of people will end up putting OTT on everything, and you might just want to be careful of that if you ended up throwing it on your drums.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, for real. No, that's some quality advice right there too, because even me, I'm like, oh shit, sometimes I forget about that too. You just in quickness, you know.
Yeah, we all get into like those habits.
Yeah. No, forget about it. And then I forgot to change it when I got 10 to change it to default. So then it just keeps doing. There's a couple things like high, the reverb quality. I forget to do that sometimes too. It's on eco naturally.
Oh yeah. And it sounds like poo poo.
Yeah, poo poo. Yeah. Oh shit, man. Well, Walker, thank you, man. Thank you for the compliments on the tune. We're actually gonna give it away, some of the samples from the tune tomorrow on the beat off. I know you come through for that, so if you want to join, get some of the samples and take your chance at remixing it. Feel free to come back tomorrow, brother.
All right.
We're coming up on the last tune. Mr. Tyler.
Let's
go. Get Away. Releasing May 7th. Look at this. Big tune.
Yo, dude, I see that one fitting in really nicely with your live sets. That one's really cool. The
Yeah.
intro is just really well done. Like nothing to say there. And then the drops, like you change it up exactly where you want them to change up, you know? Like it's got like especially the first drop, it's got like that nice pulse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like in the beginning, and it's like I can just imagine that like on a big system, it's gonna sound awesome. It's gonna like move through the whole crowd.
Yeah. Ooh,
And
powerful
then
as fuck.
yeah, and then like halfway through it switches up and that's awesome. And then that slow drum and bass feel in the second half, super cool.
I wasn't
People are gonna
expecting
love
that.
this one. Yeah, me
Yeah.
either. I thought it was gonna be kind of like a I don't know, it was gonna go into something maybe like harder, I guess. Like I was kind of expecting like a peekaboo kind of drop coming
Yeah.
up, but
Something.
then switched up on us and gave us that slow D and B.
I liked it. I honestly really enjoyed that because I saw three. You know, you could tell some of these. You're like, oh, all right, there's a drop, and then I'm like, wait, we got three drops over here, okay. And then he comes and hit us with some D&B, like totally fresh, still all the same elements from the first two drops, but somehow made it just like a glove, just fit right in. You didn't even have to like halftime anything and like slow it down, kind of cliche, you know, like something that I would do, like just the volume. I mean, just like double it, you know, just time warp it, just double it, and that's something that I would think to do. And you just kept the same vibe, you know, you just kept the getaway vocal kind of leading the whole song, whether it was D&B or like that crazy glitch neuro, and yeah, I thought that was. It gave it a nice narrative too, and then reading that was nice. That's why I had to put it on screen too. So I like when there's a full conceptual kind of theme behind tunes and music, and that definitely did it. So
Yeah.
big
Dude, I
ups.
thought
Yeah.
the other thing I want to say is like Tyler always kills the drums, dude.
Ooh.
His drums are always super spacious and like not too busy.
Yeah.
Like his
No.
drums are just like right where you want them to be. Like I'm talking about like the background elements, you know.
Yeah.
He's got like these little bongos and hand drums and stuff, and they just fit right in.
It's like, you know, they fit right in when you don't even really notice them. You have to, on second or third listen, that's when you start to notice them, and that's when a tune is like really, really special, is when you could listen to it like 4 or 5 times, even a year down the line. You're like, wait, I never heard that part before, you know, this little twinkle, you know, or some shit. So I like, you really did do a nice job of hiding those elements. It's like you did the work and then you hit it in the background. That's what I don't know. That's what I respect about a lot of producers too, is like the little subtleties that they add, because you do that hard work of finding something, crafting it out, making sure it sounds good, and then it's like negative 24 decibel, you know?
Yeah, it's like it's restraint, you know. It's like being able to do that, and it's like I feel like that is like really skillful, you know. It's like it's easy to make everything loud, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's hard to like layer things and like be okay with, even if you spent 2 hours finding that bongo sample or whatever, to just like throw it in the back, you know, because it makes the song better. Like it's hard to do.
Yeah, that's crazy. I guess that's what it is, restraint at the end of the day. Instead of having like everything fight for attention, you're just like, listen,
Yeah.
I know what's important. Everything else is like the wind in the sail. It's not the sail, you know?
Yeah, it's like you have your song. It's like knowing where the singer is and putting all the attention on the singer, you know.
Yeah.
And you can't, even if you want something to be the singer at some point, it's like sometimes you just got to accept like, no, like the singer's the singer. Like I don't know, it's like being able to see the whole track, like the vision of the track.
Yeah.
That takes a lot of skill, you know, and like experience.
Definitely, man.
Anyway, yeah, sick
Tyler.
track to end off on.
Show, crazy one. And
Yeah.
I'm seeing the download too, so I'm gonna fucking snag that.
Ooh, I'm about to go cop it.
Yeah, he's got it. May 7th. It comes out for everybody else, everyone who's not in the Discord right now. But yeah, I'm taking this before he gets rid of this download file.
Yeah, change the link. I already got it.
Yeah, get rid of the link before, you know. I just already blew up our spot.
But yeah.
Yeah. Yo, so
But yeah, man.
thank you, bro. Thank you for fucking doing this. It's been like 3.5 hours. You know, you dedicated a whole night to us, man. So do you know when you're gonna be streaming again for sure, so we could tune in to you, or anything on the horizon?
Let's see. I'll probably be up again on Friday, and then next week I'm gonna be back to like my usual schedule, which was like Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday.
Oh, nice,
And
man.
I'm going to stick to that as much as I can. I guess it depends on if I get hired somewhere, but for the time being, that's what I'm going to be doing.
All right.
And I'm only taking tomorrow off because like I got my second shot today, so I don't know if I'm going to feel like poop.
Hey, well,
Yeah.
you know what? You're already committed to giving us stems, so you're doing something, man. You're giving us
Yeah.
stems for the beat off tomorrow, and whether you beat off or not, hey, you got the stems forever, for eternity anyway. So you could,
Yeah, and I mean, I might come and hang with you in Tomas,
definitely.
We can do like a little special episode sort of thing. We all hang out. And if not, I'll be in there. If I'm not feeling up for it, I'll be in there. I'll try to make a little VIP or something.
Yo, that I mean, anytime, we could even work on like a dual collab VIP or remix or some shit, So even if
that'd
it's
be
just
fun.
commentating tomorrow or just joining in on chat, bro, you're always welcome on the beat and greet. You're always welcome over here, and it's been a pleasure getting to know you this past year and getting this fucking collab out, bro. It's definitely it's nice, yo. Virtual pound, bro.
Hell yeah, man. You too, dude. Like seriously, this community has been so awesome. It's helped me meet so many people, you included. It's been sick. Like I would have probably never met you if it hadn't been for COVID and like you starting the stream,
Yeah.
And I still haven't even met you in real life, but I feel like I know you.
For real, we've had these long conversations twice now, and then
Yeah.
a bunch of prepping for this. That's been a bonding experience, content
Yeah.
making together. That's we got to
I
decide
mean-
on things.
You took me under your wing in RuneScape. I mean, like, we're putting this song out, all of it,
Yo, it's a communal thing, bro. We got this thing going
Yeah.
on, and I'm glad we could keep it going.
Yeah, me too. I'm excited for what's next. I'm always down to, maybe get the next one in the works at some point.
Definitely
Get it going.
Yeah.
But I hope y'all have a good night.
Hey,
I'm gonna go ahead and log off and leave it to Brightside. Peace out, y'all. I'm gonna go eat some dinner.
peace, brother. Thank you so much, man. Thanks again.
Not a problem. Y'all have a great one.
Peace.
Peace
See
out.
you tomorrow. All right, yo. So, we're here. We're still here. We got 3 more songs in Discord. I saw some of y'all talking. Undefined. Hooligan. Oh, that was it. It was just Undefined and Hooligan. Oh, and Frisker too. Frisker. So, I mean, if y'all want, we could stick around, do 3 more tunes, maybe smoke a bowl. But if you guys dipped because you heard it was ending, I don't blame y'all. Listen, that soothing ASMR voice that 5-star got is gone. It's just this guy now.